Yo, what up? What's going on, everyone? Oh, I gotta get the iPad in there. Where's the iPad? What up? What up? We are gonna go through today Demacia's top 10 potential raid bosses for the Riot MMO. Demacia was a little harder to do. You know, on the Shadow Isles, I can get a freaking top 20 list, top 30 list for raid bosses for the Riot MMO. Demacia is pretty much a good place. Where did I rank Demacia on my survival guide? Where did I rank it? I should probably take away the nav part, but whatever. Yeah, I ranked it 12. Demacia is a good place. You'd want to be in Demacia, as long as you're not a mage. Throw this up here. Who do I want, Garen or Lux, to be the mascot for this show today? Any predictions on who Demacia's top 10 most epic raid bosses are going to be while I'm setting this up? I always try to open Wild Rift before. I don't know why Wild Rift always has a patch. There's always something to download whenever I open Wild Rift. Did you guys see the new Wild Rift model for Mordekaiser? I got a Twitter post on it. Where's my display? There was a Twitter post. I'm pretty sure I bookmarked it. Or was it TikTok? Darkens were more interesting than these. Was a limited small number of them. Darkens were more interesting when there was a limited small number of them. I don't think that makes a difference. How many there are doesn't make something interesting. It just makes something rare. Wow, that's silly. There's only one of you guys. You're an individual, so you're always interesting. Aren't they adding new champs to Wild Rift as well? Yeah, they are. Wild Rift, guys, Wild Rift hits, okay? Honestly, if you never tried Wild Rift, don't fall for everyone saying it's a gacha game. Everyone saying it's pay like, oh, it's not like League of Legends. It's the same thing, okay? They sell skins. They just do a bunch of like little passes and stuff and everything. But in terms of an actual game, guys, don't sleep on it. Wild Rift is fun. You get all the champions, by the way. You log on, all the champions are unlocked, and you can play with anyone you want. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, right? Or no, maybe not. Maybe not. I might be wrong there. I think I keep trying to play, but I can't get any more for some reason. It takes a while. It takes a while to get a game. But yeah, if you never played it, I really recommend just log on and try it. Don't be sleeping on Wild Rift. Where is it? Let's go Lux. Lux is good for Demacia. Man, I love the tavern style music that plays at the beginning of the streams. It makes me feel like I'm in Iseke. I don't know where that is. I don't know what that is. Isekai is a Japanese subgenre of fiction found in anime, manga, and light novels where a protagonist is suddenly transported to or reincarnated in a new, unfamiliar world, typically a fantasy one, with magic and video game-like elements. That's how that makes me feel too. I love the Tavern Legends of Runeterra theme. That's why I made it the intro. And then I made like, I think part 3 of it as the outro. They cook with the skins, yeah. I don't know if they put it on here yet. Let's see. It's from Mordekaiser. Where is he? Oh, what am I doing? He's up above. Mordekaiser. Oh, how do I click on all of this? Mordekaiser. There we go. I don't think his skin's on here yet. I just saw it. The animations and stuff. Hey, damn. Yeah, they don't have it on here yet. There was a new one that came out that looks so good. Even I was like, damn, it's a fire skin. You know, if I was just chilling on cash, maybe. That's a far maybe, because I've never bought a skin in my life, but maybe. Yeah, worth it. Worth a try. Not sponsored, by the way. My whole goal is just to get you guys to play Wild Rift. That's why I throw a skin up. Alright, Riot MMO Demacia's 10 most epic raid bosses lore deep dive. Can you guys guess where this picture's from, by the way? I obviously edited it a little bit, but can you guess where it's from? Have you watched enough League of Legends to know where this image is from that I edited a little bit? Well, I didn't, AI edited it, but I gave it instructions. If someone can guess it before the end of the stream, I don't know if I can even give channel points yet or not. Top 10 potential Demacia raid bosses for the Riot MMO. An introduction to Demacia's dangers. Demacia, like I said, was very difficult. For some reason, Shadow Owls, I can get 20 raid bosses. Even Targon. It was like my list came through like that. Demacia, I had to think a little bit. Demacia is a realm defined by contrast. It is a land of shining white walls, unwavering justice, and martial pride. Yet beneath this veneer of perfection lies a growing paranoia, a deep-seated fear of magic and ancient horrors that stalk the hinterlands. This is where Demacia is located, right over here. Yeah, the main Demacia cinematic. That's the scene before Garen gets hit by the huge boulder launched at them. Yeah, that's from Warriors. Silas or some kind of mage launches a boulder at him and he goes flying. And I was like, he was already running. I was like, make him more scared. Add a dragon. Make it breathing fire. And then ended up making that. And I was like, oh, that's exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, wait. First, I was like, okay, have him turn around, have him facing the camera more. And I was like, make him scared. And it kind of made him scared. I was like, make him terrified, like something's about to eat him. And then it came up with that. And I was like, I had a fire being dragon. And then it added that. It's like, perfect. Thank you. For players in the upcoming Riot MMO, Demacia offers more than just political intrigue and the ongoing Mage Seeker conflict. It is a region teeming with powerful entities, from zealous protectors and ancient dragons to primordial demons that defy comprehension. Here we speculate on the top 10 potential raid bosses that might await adventurers in the kingdom of Demacia. Also, I would even refer to it as the kingdom of Petricite. Demacia's history is intrinsically linked to the fear of magic. Founded by refugees fleeing the cataclysmic ruin wars, the kingdom was built upon Petricite, a white stone that dampens magical energy. The material forms of the literal metaphorical walls of the nation. As described in the official Demacian region page, a strong, lawful kingdom with a prestigious military history. Demacia's people have always valued the ideals of justice, honor, and duty most highly, and are fiercely proud of their cultural heritage. But in spite of these lofty principles, the largely self-sufficient nation has grown more insular and isolationist in recent centuries. This isolationism, combined with internal strife following the death of King Jarvan III and the rise of the Mage Seekers, has created a climate of fear and uncertainty. It is in this climate that the dark things fester and where heroes will be needed to confront threats both within and without. Now Demacia is a kingdom in turmoil, and all the Petricite in the land will not protect Demacia from itself. What AI did you use on this, by the way? I used Gemini Banana. It's pretty good. I think it did a pretty good job. I've been using it. I didn't use it for that, but I've been using it for like a couple. Not these. Like if you just see like the art, you know, or like art and text, those I'm not using it for. But like if you see like a character look a little different in the image, it's because I just gave it the image. Whenever I try to tell it to create an image, it doesn't do a great job. But if I give it an image and say, make this character this, like a little difference, then it does a pretty good job. All right. Demacia raid bosses. Number 10. The Blood-Cursed Harpies. Now, this could be a raid. This could be a dungeon. But there's going to be something with the Blood-Cursed Harpies in Demacia. The wilds of Demacia are home to more than just bandits and wolves. Strange, supernatural afflictions exist, turning mortals into monsters. The blood-cursed harpies represent a visceral and tragic horror lurking in the forgotten corners of the kingdom. The flavor text and Legends of Runeterra card Blood-Cursed Harpies reveals a harrowing account found in a torn satchel. Kian, if you're reading this, I'm hopefully dead. I can't control what's happening to me. The blood under my nails won't wash off. I'm so itchy. I scratch and scratch, but nothing helps. It hurts. I just want it to stop. If I'm still alive, somehow, promise me you'll stop trying to find me. I would ask for your forgiveness, but I don't deserve it. Be good to Mother, okay? Something, I don't know what, something is turning mortals into blood-cursed harpies within Demacia. And blood-cursed harpies doesn't look like a good thing to turn into because they're like winged. You could fly. I suppose you could fly. That's pretty good. But they seem like they kind of lose control. And so we're going to have to deal with this threat one way or another. The blood-cursed harpy threat in Demacia, I think it has something to do with like a magician, like some kind of mage is turning mortals into blood-cursed harpies. A mage that's like upset with Demacia and the way that their like politics are imprisoning mages and force them to drink petricite, right? There's bound to be a couple mages that are pretty upset with Demacia. But I definitely think that we're going to have to deal with this because that's not okay. Yeah. It doesn't even look like a person anymore. If you don't read the flavor text, there's no way you'd think a blood-cursed harpy is a person. You would just think that it's a harpy, a regular harpy that we've seen in fantastical worlds all over the place. But people are being turned into these, at least judging by the Runeterra card lore. So raid encounter analysis. This encounter would take place in a dark, forested area or a desolate cliffside nest. The fight would be against a swarm of harpies led by a central matriarch. The key mechanic would be the blood curse itself. The harpies' attacks would apply a stacking debuff that causes damage over time, the itching. And if the stack gets too high, the player temporarily loses control of their character, attacking allies, as hinted by the I can't control what's happening to me. The raid would need specialized cleansing mechanics or designated areas to remove the curse before it overwhelms them. It would be a frantic fight, emphasizing debuff management and crowd control. I thought that, when I read the card, I thought more about the raid fight than I did the actual, like, could it be a raid boss? I think Blood-Cursed Harpies will be maybe a dungeon, or if you want to turn it into a raid, you have to flesh out that character more. Whoever the mage is, that's turning mortals into Blood-Cursed Harpies. But the lore is cool. I think that it's a good like riff on harpies, like standard harpies in the forest, whatever. These ones are like, there's a little bit more oomph to them. I think it's cool lore, and I would like to see it expanded out in a raid or a dungeon or something. I want to understand what's causing this. Next up, the Arcane Fist. There's no images of the Arcane Fist. I'll say that. We only know of them in the lore, but there's no actual images of them. Long before the current Mage Rebellion, Demacia faced external magic threats. While the kingdom's petricite walls offered protection at home, their armies abroad were vulnerable until the creation of Galio the Colossus. One of the most significant threats they faced were the war mages, known as the Arcane Fists. That's why Galio was created. Galio is literally just petricite that they wanted to be able to move around. Why they carved it in the form of Galio is that they wanted it to be intimidating. And they would basically wheel Galio around to battle to protect them from magic. That's literally what Galio is, like a giant stone. You could think of it as a block, and they just wheeled it off to the next war-torn area, wherever they had to go fight. And so that's why Galio appeared in all these battles. The thing is with Galio is that he absorbs magic, right? We learned that in the last video that we talked about Friday. Petricite absorbs magic. It doesn't like take away, it doesn't make it go away completely. It just absorbs it. Magic is not destroyed, it's transferred. And that's why Galio eventually wakes up. If there's enough magic in a battle, enough magic mages shooting at the Demacians, Galio will literally awaken and defend Demacia, which is pretty cool. Yeah, they wheel this guy around and they just have him absorb all the magic. That's bad. That's a problem for them to deal with. So in Galio's biography, we learn of their devastating power during a battle in the Green Fang Mountains. Demacia had been mired in battle with enemy forces in the Green Fang Mountains. A skilled order of war mages known as the Arcane Fist bombarded the Demacians with crackling bolts of raw mystical power for 13 days. And I just put the skin here. This is Brand Apocalypse skin. But get an idea of like the Arcane Fists are kind of like a group of fire mages. It was the accumulation of this magic that first stirred the Colossus to life, leading to the destruction of the Arcane Fist. But what if remnants of the Order survived, nursing their wounds and plotting their return? That's literally in the story. So the Arcane Fists are battling. They wheeled Galio out there. They didn't even know he could wake up at this time. But Galio is just absorbing all these Arcane Fist damage, these fire bolts over and over and over again. And eventually Galio wakes up and pretty much just decimates the Arcane Fist. That's how Demacia wins that fight. They were going to lose. But yeah, Galio awakens. That's where it is, the Greenfang Mountains. So the raid encounter against the Arcane Fist would likely take place within the Greenfang Mountains, perhaps near the site of their original defeat. This would be a council-style fight against several elite war mages, focusing heavily on magical damage mitigation and positioning. The core mechanic would involve the war mages attempting to channel raw mystical power, and positioning players would need to interrupt their channels or use environmental petrocite deposits to create safe zones. The fight might also feature Galio in a dormant state. If the mages channel too much power, Galio might awaken, either as an aid to the players or as an uncontrolled environmental hazard, smashing everything in sight. This is just like something I was thinking, like maybe like, you know, he's like unable to, like he's absorbed so much magic that he can't control himself. Something that I think about with Galio, but he's most likely would be on the player's side here if you're fighting the Arcane Fist and defending Demacia. I think that the mages channeling too much power, I was really trying to think of this because I wanted it to be like Galio is there and the mages are channeling, but maybe like you at this point understand petrocite and your own mages are trying to empower Galio. That could be cool too. Like imagine DPS having a mechanic other than don't stand in the fire, which I understand is difficult. Like you don't want to give DPS too many mechanics. They really struggle with that, especially when they're on the charts. But giving a DPS a mechanic where they have to damage something other than the boss, one, it usually results in raid wipes. But two, I think DPS could use a little bit more mechanics in games. There was one fight in World of Warcraft where like a DPS had to go and run this gauntlet kind of thing. That was pretty cool. That was back in what was it called? World of Warcraft. It was like with Zandalar and stuff. And it was like a cave with this huge freaking like leech bug. It was a good fight. But yeah, I like when DPS have mechanics. So I think like maybe you're trying to wake up Galio. So you're in the fight, you're fighting the Arcane Fist, and your mages, anyone with like a magical ability, is trying to empower the like Galio to get him to wake up. A way that you make it where the whole raid isn't just stacked with magic users is that the Arcane Fists themselves take more damage from physical attacks. That way rogues and warriors can still get invited. Next up, the Stalking Broodmother and Protective Broodfather. Dragons, while rare, are a significant threat in Demacian Highlands. A mated pair presents a unique challenge requiring careful strategy to avoid overwhelming force. This is the Stalking Broodmother, and this is the Protective Broodfather. I love how the Protective Broodfather is literally just a zoom out of the Stalking Broodmother, and you could see if you look right behind the Stalking Broodmother, that's the cubs right there. So who's good here? That's debatable, but think of the loot, guys. That's what you need to keep in mind. Think of all the loot. I wouldn't get loot from the children, right? That's kind of messed up, but the parents could have some good boots. The research of Aidan Main, noted in Legend of Runeterra, gives insight into the behavior regarding the Stalking Broodmother. Careful, soldiers. If we tread carefully and don't disturb the nest, we can keep the mother dragon on the defensive. If we rile her up any further, well, you want to be ready to run. That's Aidan Main, Egghead researcher. And concerning the Protective Broodfather, he says, Luckily my research suggests that broodfathers spend most of their time hunting a good distance from their young. It goes without saying that if the male should return, we would all be dragon fruit. And it looks like the male did return, and they have no idea. This art you can't even see. Like this person's like literally stalking behind the tree. And then you come here. They have no idea that this guy's even here. Must be pretty stealthy. Raid encounter analysis. This is a classic nesting ground encounter with a twist. The raid initially engages the Stalking Broodmother. The central mechanic is a rile meter. so actions such as damaging nearby ags, using excessive AoE abilities, or allowing the broodmother's health to drop too quickly will increase the meter. If the Rile meter reaches maximum, or if the fight goes on too long, the protective broodfather returns from his hunt. This triggers a devastating hard enrage phase. The ideal strategy would be to defeat the broodmother with precision and control before the broodfather arrives. If both are active, the raid faces immense pressure, requiring perfect tank swaps and cooldown management to survive this onslaught. And that could be like an achievement, you know? Like defeat the broodmother and the broodfather would be an achievement if you're able to accomplish that. But the goal is really to like defeat the broodmother before the broodfather returns and without triggering his return and the Rile effect. In League, they do a good job of making fun abilities even for tanks, heals, and less popular traditional MMO classes. I do feel like League of Legends bodes well for the MMO. There's a lot of even like the new fight with the Doombots, which I'm gonna play again today. The Doombots really show like Riot's ability to kind of have like those visuals, like a lot of abilities going off, but still be visually clear, which I think was one of the most dangerous things that you can do in an MMO. We talked about that with what's it called? We talked about that display. I think Final Fantasy is a great game, guys. I really do. But man, it's really hard to see what the hell's going on sometimes. I played Final Fantasy a little bit. Final Fantasy MMO raid boss. A couple people is fine. It's like this that I'm talking about. Oh, let me make it so you guys can hear. Hold on. You guys won't be able to hear that. Hold on. Okay. Oop. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's loud. Yeah. I feel like this is too much. We want to avoid this. Like, I mean... This is too much. It gets way worse than this, too. Like, when they really start stacking on the boss. Yeah, I mean, I can't see what's... My whole screen went white. And this actually looks like a cool raid fight. I'll say that. Like, the fight actually looks cool, but I can't tell what's going on here. What am I doing? Or what's my ability? What am I doing? Like, where's my... If I'm shooting a fireball at a mate, at something, I need to be able to see it. And I understand the ability needs to be cool and impactful and big. But at the same time, it can't take away from everyone else's cool impact. It has to be at least small enough that everyone's abilities are visual. This just looks like everyone is freaking throwing grenades at her the whole time. You can't even see his character. Like, this ability is really cool, right? Look at this one. The red circle with the beam coming down. Awesome ability. Awesome ability. But it's just, look what it does when you have a big group. And this isn't even a big group. I would want to see like 30-man raids. So, you know, don't do that. I don't think it's worth it. So I think League of Legends with the Doom bots, which I've been playing a lot of, really does show like how Riot can handle kind of making your abilities visually clear in a group setting where everyone's attacking the same mob. Because League of Legends abilities are very visually clear. It's a big point in League of Legends that, you know, you have to see it anyways. Like, especially if you're hitting mobs trying to get last hits, you really want to see and make like, did I get the last hit? You know, watch it travel. So they do a good job with it. 2x KO, another example. There's some abilities there and it's pretty clear. Yeah, Wild Rift is clear as well. But Wild Rift is basically League of Legends on mobile. It's an important thing. Next up, surprisingly guys, number 7 is the Mage Seeker Order and Lord Eldred. I put it number 7 here. The Mage Seekers are the embodiment of Demacia's institutionalized fear of magic. Founded to protect the kingdom from the arcane chaos of the Rune Wars, they have become an oppressive force, rooting out magic wherever it hides. The Mage Seeker's handbook, quoted in Legends of Runeterra card Mage Seeker Insider, states their purpose. This guy is literally a mage, by the way, that's like working with the Mage Seekers, which is not uncommon. Mages do work with the Mage Seekers. Picture like someone that's just been waterboarded and like tortured in most cases at least. Silas originally worked for the mages, for the mage seekers, before he was imprisoned. So it's like considered, you know, oh wow, you know, you're actually helping Demacia, and so it's a good thing. Long ago, the wild magics of the Rune Wars brought all Runeterra to its knees. Thus, our order was created to protect our kingdom by ridding it of magic, whether abroad or within. Leading this order, or at least a significant faction of it, is Lord Eldred, a man of caution and authority. This is him. Lord Eldred is right here. That's Lux, and that's their aunt. Lux's aunt Tiana. In Legends of Runeterra, his flavor text reveals his nature. I couldn't help but overhear your fervent whisperings, dear wife. I advise you to exercise more caution when discussing family matters in so public a place. You can never be certain who might be listening. And I've always taken this impression of in life, like if someone is super afraid of people, let's say you're super afraid of people just randomly pushing you. That means that you'll just randomly push someone. You know what I mean? So if you're afraid of like someone overhearing a conversation, that means you probably listen in to other people's conversations a lot because it's top of mind for you, because you do it. You know what I mean? That's how I always think. And then like this seat behind them, we can see it playing out in the Tiana Crown Guard Legends of Runeterra card. You can see that art behind Tiana. Same art here. And it's like the same positioning. This is Lux talking to her Aunt Tiana, and it says, our house has bled for this realm. You'll not throw away this family's honor for a few tricks of light. That's because Lux is a mage. Lux is actually a light mage. So she's telling her, you know, you're not doing this. You're not going to show your magic. Just like, don't tell anyone you're a mage and be a good girl. So that's what their discussion is. And then it seems like Lord Eldred knows that she's a mage and is telling her to like go discuss it in somewhere more private. In League to do it. But that UI looks so ugly, man. Yeah, I don't think Final Fantasy does a great job with like the UI or the visuals. MMO's issues is the devs think they have more abilities the better. But it's usually better to have fewer abilities that are more dynamic and have combinations with the other abilities. Yeah, I don't think more is better. I think it's about having a couple good abilities that especially if you do action combat, then those abilities can be, you know, adapted or whatever, changed based on, like they feel more than just pressing a button. If you're just gonna press a button, it's all tap targeting, then you do need a couple abilities to make it feel like at least you're doing something. The thing is, even in World of Warcraft, right, I would have, you know, 100 freaking abilities, but I'd only really use 5. The rest of them were like a 1-minute cooldown, 2-minute cooldown. Maybe I'll use it every once in a while. But yeah, you mostly just use like the 5 abilities. So you can have those 5 abilities with maybe a couple trinkets. And I think that's enough. Whenever I see Mage Seekers, I'm reminded of how much I hate how Riot applied black and white to the supposedly complex issue. But it's very complex. I don't think it's black and white at all. The Mage Seekers were corrupted by the Black Rose. They were corrupted from the inside and twisted. The original goal of the Mage Seekers, let's say, was to protect Runeterra. Well, they weren't called Mage Seekers before, but their goal was to protect Demacia from any event of the Rune Wars, right? Like to stop Demacia, protect Demacia from like an event like the Rune Wars again. But they twisted it, right? Instead of being protection, Demacia as a place of protection from the Rune Wars, it became a place of protection from magic entirely. Matrixers still want the best for Demacia rather than being comically evil, but I think they do. Their idea of what's best for Demacia is just wrong, right? Like, I don't think even LeBlanc, as evil as she looks to us, what has she really done? Like, okay, she's imprisoned a demon, Atakan. She's definitely been a part of like the killing of King Jarvan III in Demacia, but Nox and Demacia are enemies. She's been a part of the killing of Ambessa Medardas and Mel Medardas, a couple family members, but you know, the Medardas are not easily controlled and they'll do their own thing. She was a part of Swain's execution in Ionia, but they're competing for power in Noxus. She has, what else did she do? She's manipulated Xin Zhao into going to Ionia and bringing... The thing about LeBlanc, she sent Mordekaiser back to the afterlife, and his whole goal is really to stop Mordekaiser from ever returning or prevent, or if he should return, be powerful enough to stop him. Like, I think she honestly fears Mordekaiser in some ways. It's probably the only thing she fears. LeBlanc kidnapped Rel. Yeah, LeBlanc kidnapped Rel, and she puts her in like a child tournament to see who's the most powerful mage, and like also to get more powerful followers. So basically, Rel would be battling other mages, and when Rel would defeat a mage, she would take the Black Rose would take the power from that mage and put it into Rel using like magical runes. It's pretty messed up. I'm not saying LeBlanc isn't messed up, but she has her intentions. Like, she, at the end of the day, is doing what she thinks is best for her and for Noxus. So I don't think like she's inherently just evil, right? She doesn't want to just go around killing people. She probably think that's useless and pointless. She's not crazy. She's like, I have a goal, and I don't care who gets in my way. I'm gonna accomplish it. My goal is to prevent Mordekaiser from ever returning, and should he return, to be powerful enough to stop him. So if I have to take a bunch of kids, put them in an arena, and create really powerful mages to be able to fight Mordekaiser when he returns, which will, by the way, save the world of Runeterra, I'm going to do it. But a bit late, but excited to watch. Yo, what up, Turi? Oh, I didn't even realize that was your comment. The kidnapped girl. Yeah, she did, man. That Mbessa book is so good. Well, mages shouldn't universally be portrayed as innocent and oppressed. Yeah, no, they definitely. So we don't agree with the Mage Seeker's current position of like mages are all bad and let's imprison them. The Mage Seeker Order was created by the Black Rose in a lot of ways. Like, it was the corruption of the Black Rose twisting Demacia into believing that it's the actual magic itself that's the problem. And then, you know, the Mage Seekers have been further infiltrated and further corrupted and going farther and farther and farther. So the Mage Seekers are definitely a corrupted group, you know? But the people of the Mage Seekers don't believe that they're wrong. And I don't know if it's as black and white as like, I don't know. I understand what you're saying. Like, it's black and white, like the Mage Seekers are genuinely bad. But that's because they were corrupted from the beginning. Is it black and white? I'm starting to think now, the more I think about it, it kind of is. Because while the Mage Seekers were corrupted, they were corrupted from the beginning. They're literally called the Mage Seekers. I don't think the Order was even formed post, like, corruption. Post, like, the Black Rose infiltrating. And the Mage Seekers aren't like, I mean, they're out to protect Demacia. Demacians truly believe that if you do magic, you will incite another rune war. They've been corrupted that far. Like, they're within their own mind. Like, in the Lux comic, you see Garen talking about it. That you, like, Lux is talking about, is it worth, hold on. She's like, is it worth it? And he's like, you know, you don't want another rune war. Dang, Alexander, you know, you're actually making me think about it. It might be a little bit more black and white. Look, so Garen and Lux are chasing this girl after her. Oh, you guys can't see. So this is in the Lux comic. Garen and Lux are riding in the street. This mage shows up and they're like after her. She's just running scared. Garen gets pissed, chases her down. I said, halt, mage. Freaking smashes her to the ground, sends her to jail. And he said, magic is usually inherited. Best to make sure no one else is afflicted. They'll like imprison her whole family. I'm sorry you had to see that, Miss Luxana. And Garen's like, no need to apologize for making the kingdom safer. Safer? Are we safer? He said, what are you getting at? Of course we are. They're investigating that woman's family. They'll be released if they aren't afflicted with magic. And if they are, what, they send them to the hinterlands? It's for the best. They won't hurt anyone there. They're not hurting anyone here, unless someone tries to chase them down in the street. Do you ever think maybe our laws make things worse? Hold your tongue. Without those laws, this great civilization would fall. Do you want to risk another rune wars? Right there. Without our laws, the great civilization would fall. Do you want to risk another rune wars? Even magic done by this person right here, just a random mage running around in the street, they believe that it will cause another rune wars, when in reality, mages help build Demacia itself. That's how corrupted they are. That's how far like they've been corrupted by the Black Rose. Even in the Mage Seeker game, the mages literally have a kumbaya commune in the woods. Both sides should be equally justified in their beliefs and struggles rather than Mage Seekers being oppressors. I think they were. The problem is that the Mage Seekers, like I said, they were. This is like a corrupted movement. From the beginning, it was corrupted. It never like started out good. Maybe there was a group that protected Demacia prior to the Mage Seekers, but when they became Mage Seekers, like seekers of mages, they were already like infiltrated by the Black Rose and corrupted at that point. Honestly, fair, Magic doesn't have the best safety record. Yeah, I mean, but it did help build Demacia. Is Magic more dangerous than some random person just walking in the street? Absolutely. Like, you know, someone that can just shoot a fireball out of their hand at any time. It's like they're constantly carrying a rocket launcher. So they're more dangerous than a regular person. But, you know, what are you going to do? They're citizens. It should only be like a bad mage. If someone's bad, then hey, you gotta imprison them. It shouldn't be corruption. It should be justified. Mages are dangerous. Almost every catastrophe we know of is mage inflicted. The thing about the Rune Wars is it's not due to the mages. It was due to the Rune Wars. And it might not even have been a mage wielding it. A regular person could wield a World Rune and it would be just as destructive. Because the World Runes are like magic on a nuclear level. They destroyed whole civilizations. I'm pretty sure this whole spot right here, see this like huge indent? Or even like this little spot, maybe like right here, off this like where it's like kind of separated little two pieces, is where Rise was looking out and sees that whole area destroyed in the Rise cinematic. For the Rune, where he talks about the Rune Wars. Rise called to power.
And magic.
Yeah. And you can see like right here, this scene, because we could see where it is too. You can see where it is on the map. This could have been done by a mage or a non-mage. It's about the power of the World Rune that was dangerous.
Naive. So I vowed. Never again.
Yeah. And you could see where that's at here. Where is it? Call to power. Memories of destruction. See, it's like right here off the coast. So I think it's like maybe this little spot here or something. But the main thing I'm getting at is like, yeah, magic is, someone who can wield magic is definitely more dangerous than someone who does not wield magic. Just like someone with a sword is more dangerous than someone without a sword. There's more potential for danger. But you can't just like say that all mages are dangerous like the mage seekers do, no matter what. It's going to be wrong. So I agree with you that it's more black and white than that with the mage seekers because they're just a corrupted organization. Honestly, fair magic doesn't have the best save yet, but it's like more the World Runes. Like that could have been a mortal that wielded that World Rune. It shouldn't be corruption. It should be justified. Mages are dangerous. Mages are dangerous almost every condition. Yeah, it's hard to justify that all mages are bad. I don't know if you can ever justify that. Mages help build Demacia. Rise is a mage. There's a lot of really good mages out there. And there's a lot of good people and there's a lot of bad people. You know, even in Runeterra. Even in Runeterra. Good and bad and everything. Oh, did we do a raid encounter analysis for the Mage Seekers? I don't think we did. Okay, raid encounter analysis for the Mage Seekers, and led by Lord Eldred. This, by the way, I think one thing about Lord Eldred, I think he literally married Tiana just to gain power. I don't think it's like a marriage out of love or anything. I think he married into like status. I really think Lord Eldred was just a bad guy from birth, man. There's no good in him. It's not like he loves Tiana or whatever. This raid would involve infiltrating a major Mage Seeker stronghold or prison. Players would face various specialized units leading up to the final boss. Mage Seeker Inquisitor might attempt to suppress abilities. Mage Seeker Investigators could apply debilitating debuffs. The Mage Seeker Persuaders could rally nearby troops. And final confrontation with Lord Eldred would be a battle against anti-magic supremacy. Eldred would utilize Petrocite weaponry and artifacts. The arena would likely feature zones of null magic, silencing casters and draining resources. Caster classes would find this fight particularly challenging, requiring precise positioning and capitalizing on brief windows when the anti-magic fields are deactivated. And the anti-magic, maybe he takes like additional damage from magic, and the anti-magic fields are more like you have to be like a melee. You know, I like to have like where you can use where like ranged and melee are both important. I feel like that's a problem. Like in World of Warcraft, some fights are just like whoever does the most DPS. But if you make it where like melee and ranged both have value, then you kind of have to mix it up. I think that's important. Number 6, Cadragen. I don't really know how to pronounce this. Cadragen or Cadragen? Cadragen. Cadragen. That was what we're going to go with. Cadragen, the Infernal. I like that. So number 6, Cadragen, the Infernal. While Demacia struggles with internal issues, external threats are growing bolder. A recent spate of dragon attacks points to a singular powerful entity rallying others to its cause. Cadragen, the Infernal. This is him on the right. The left is Shyvana. As noted in the Legend of Runeterra card for Cadragen, when Demacia underwent a sudden spate of dragon attacks, Shyvana knew that Cadragen the Infernal was to blame. Other dragons inspired by his bold nature and powerful flame drove the Demacians to fear. Cadragen is not alone. He inspires lesser dragons such as the fiercely protective Screeching Dragons and the stoic Mountain Drakes, creating a significant aerial threat to the kingdom. You can see a Screeching Drake here, and there's a Mountain Drake. All creatures are fiercely protective of their young, but few are as well equipped to deal with this would-be threats as dragons. And I want to say this about the... I don't know, I kind of like them being their own fight, but they could also be like leading up to Cadragen. You know, like you have to go through the Stalking Broodmother camp and the Predator Broodmother, like their area, in order to get there to like the Cadragen fight. Maybe it's like in the woods. I don't know. It could be a part of like this raid, this dragon raid for Demacia. The placid mountain drakes are slow to anger despite their appearance, and their stoicism around other mountain beasts make them natural protectors of otherwise vulnerable flocks. Raid encounter analysis. So while this may look dangerous, it actually maybe is protecting the flock. That's what I was always thinking when I was reading that art. Raid encounter analysis. This would be a multi-boss wing focused entirely on the dragon threat. Players would first need to clear the lesser dragons serving Cadragen. The final fight against Cadragen the Infernal would be an epic confrontation against the Master of Flame. The encounter would require managing a massive AoE fire attacks, fiery breath cones, and tail swipes. Given her connection to the lore, Shyvana, the half-dragon protector of Jarvan IV, would likely play a crucial role as an NPC ally. As she struggles with her identity, I am of two worlds, yet I belong to neither, she might aid the raid in her dragon form during critical phases. An ally who may help us learn of those foes ahead of the raid is Aiden Main, the Egghead researcher. And this is him, Aiden Main. He actually appears in the art up here as well. You can see him running from the Screeching Dragon. He just like researches dragon. He appears in some Targon dragon art as well. Location, recovered by researcher Aiden Main on expedition. He's talking about the egg. Notes, gestation period unknown. Incubation continued. Recent movement observed within the shell. Egg response to heat, light, hammer. Current studies, inconclusive. Notes of Aiden Main, Egghead researcher. Flying mounts. Please be in the Riot MMO. I know WoW players hate this take, but I am confident Riot can make it work without taking away from the scale of the game. So here's my take on flying mounts, and it might be a hot take. It's not about the scale. So you can make the world, absolutely. You can make it scale and feel big. Oh, wrong one. You can make it scale and feel big. That's not a problem. Like just make the if you put flying mounts in the game from the start, the world can feel really, really big from the beginning. That's okay. And it will feel big. Like just they've already done that. Look at Dragonflight, you know? Dragonflight already doesn't feel small, and the world felt big with it. View, not view full screen. Where is it? View, zoom, large size, there we go. Okay, here's my problem. Here's my problem with flying mounts. I'm gonna say it until it's heard, you know? So like, the world, that's not the problem. The main problem with flying mounts is that you skip everything. So if you're on a ground mount, you'll go, and then you see like, oh, this mining node, let me mine that. Then you'll go, and, oh, there's this person here, let me talk to him. Then you'll go, and you're just trying to get like from A to B. You know? And then you'll go and you'll be like, oh my god, look at this side quest. Let me deter over here for a little bit. And you'll come back to the main road. You're still going to B. And then, oh, it's like this guy needs some help. Let me go help him out. You'll go help him. You go back to B. And then finally you make it to B. With flying mounts, the problem is you skip everything. Like you skip all the good stuff, all the good interactions in between everything, and you just go A to B. That's the problem with flying mounts. It becomes like it's just a loading screen. You missed all the small details, all the little interactions in between. Like if you're mining, if you're out mining and you're just flying, you're just gonna fly to A, fly to B. You're mining all these nodes. Compared to if you have to run, like, yeah, you might have to get into like a fight over here between the two nodes. Then you'll get to the second node. Okay, now let me mine over here. Then I want to go down here and try to mine this node down here. But, you know, you get into like a little, like some enemies or something over here and you accidentally pull them. And I'm aware that this takes longer. But I think that these interactions are really important for an MMO. I think that these are like some of the most important pieces of an MMO are this stuff, the stuff in between. And you lose that with a flying mount. It completely goes away. So you could make the world still feel big. That's not a problem. Like, absolutely, just design the world really, really big to scale. There'll be some open spaces that don't have a lot going on, but at least the world will feel massive. Actually, if you want the world to feel big, flying mounts are probably better for the world because you can make the world really, really big because people's travel time is so quick. Like, you can make Noxus and Demacia extremely far apart. Because in the day, a flying mount, you can just fly across to it. But you lose like what's something that's really important, which I think is like those interactions between people, which is why World of Warcraft's always taking it away and giving it back with like Pathfinder and stuff. And a bunch of other games, all of them end up doing the same thing. So my take, and I don't know if it's popular or not, but I don't think flying mounts should be in an MMO at all because of that. Because you lose the good stuff in the middle. And there are benefits to flying mounts. It's just not at the expense of like what I think is like crucial for an MMO, which is that those interactions, the random stuff that you're not expecting. Number 5, raid boss. But modern level design, thinking Elden Ring Shadow of the Ed Tree, and it's not so linear, even from A to B flying, so you can have those same encounters, but in the air, and more functioning things to explore. So with the air, you have multiple planes of existence. Like with the air, how do you do it again? Zoom, large size. With the air, it's not just about like you could have like those same interactions in the air, right? But at the same time, now you have like up, down, and left and right. And like this way and this way and this way and this way. You can go any which direction. Like if I'm chasing someone in the air, they could go any which way that they want. If I'm chasing someone on the ground, they can either go this way or they can go this way. And that's it. You know? Like you're on a level plane. They're not gonna get away from you as easily. And it's just easy. Like you can just fly away from someone here. It's very hard to catch someone. That's why they added the freaking netting thing that you shoot people up with a net. You know what I'm talking about? I use it all the time in World of Warcraft. Like shoot someone down. Like the Net-O-Matic. Let me see. And I know this because I used it all the freaking time, guys. So I know that this is 100% what I'm about to say is true. The Net-O-Matic. The Net-O-Matic right here. Net-O-Matic 5000. You're able to like shoot someone down who's flying. So if someone's flying over you, you can shoot them down, which is one way to deal with this, right? But let's say I'm down here and I shoot my Net-O-Matic up at this guy. He's flying around on like a bird. Look at that bird. I shoot him down. They'll fall down to here. I'll start chasing them. By the time I get there, this guy's already back on his mount and flying away again. You can't catch them because they just fall and then you get away from you. Hey, you see the new job post for the MMO, the AI things? Is there new job postings again? Is there new job postings again? Right? That would be crazy. Careers. Product team. Oh, damn. Yet another new posting. An AI position, Riot Careers MMO. So principal game of precision economy, we talked about that one. Environment, we talked about that one. Senior technical producer, we talked about that one. Is it technical game designer? Never seen these ones. Oh, I see. Yeah, Sandbox and AI. These both are new, guys. Okay, we got these. We're going to talk about these right after we finish the Riot MMO raid bosses. We'll talk about them right after we finish the Riot MMO raid bosses. You guys can't see what I was talking about. Wow, you guys can't even see my paint, my nice drawing. What I was saying was that flying, they can fly any which direction. Left, right, up, down. They have all these like angles that they can go versus a ground mount. They can only go left or right. So it's easy to like chase them if they're running away. And I tried the Netomatic, which I showed you guys. Netomatic. Yeah, you can see it right here. I use this thing all the time to try to catch people, but by the time you hit them with the Netomatic, nets them down, you can't catch up to them by the time they get their flying mount again. So it's impossible to have like world PvP or world interactions anymore. Do we know roughly how many people are currently working on the MMO project? It seems like they've got a big team now. I think they've got a massive team at this point. There's that one picture. I don't know if I can find it. It's like, I forgot who tweeted it out. Did I bookmark it? Bookmarks. I should have bookmarked it. I might make a Riot MMO bookmark folder and bookmark a couple tweets in it so I can keep pulling them up. Let's see if it'll come up. News. I don't think it's gonna come up. I gotta find it again. There's a tweet of like a bunch of people eating at Riot Games who are talking about that's the only picture I've ever seen of the team for the Riot MMO. I don't know how many people they have. They definitely got a massive team at this point. But we're gonna talk about these roles. I'll read through them after this. And then I'll make the article after. That's fine. Gestation period unknown, incubation that we talked about that. So next one, number 5. For the Demacian raid bosses for the Riot MMO. We got Jarrell, the Darken Aegis. The Darken are corrupted ascended god warriors of ancient Shurima, their minds broken by the horrors of the void, and their bodies trapped within their own weapons. One such entity is Jarrell, who has found its way to Demacia, imprisoned within a shield. Jarrell was once a mighty figure as detailed in the Legends of Runeterra card. A mighty ascended tactician known as the Aegis of Eternity, Jarrell seemed impervious to attack, even for an immortal god warrior of Shurima. But the war against the void raged on, and as resilient as Jarrell's body was, it was his mind that broke, and how it broke. And they're talking about the void war with Acacia. That's where the god warriors really lost it. And Jarrell was probably front lines in this war against the void and Acacia. God warriors came from the Sun Disk, go and fight the void, become corrupted, lose their freaking minds, and have to be imprisoned within their weapons. That's the story. The shield is currently guarded by the House Fortis, but the Darken within cries out, tempting those nearby, as seen in the flavor text for the Darken Aegis. Let me lower this a little bit more. My son, listen now. That shield must never be touched. Long ago, it was gifted to our house on the condition that we keep it safe and leave it be. It is my responsibility, and when I pass, it will be yours. Do you hear me now? You must never climb to it again. You must never touch it. But Mama, the voice inside, it cries to me. It sounds so sad. All the more reason, my son. And that's Lady Fortis and talking to her son. That kid does eventually pick it up, which is pretty sad that Jarrell is possessing a child, but yeah. Raid encounter analysis. This encounter begins with the shield is inevitably touched by Lady Fortis' son, allowing Jarrell to manifest. The fight would emphasize his title, the Aegis of Eternity. Jarrell would have phases of near invulnerability, reflecting incoming damage or utilizing unbreakable defenses. As the fight progresses, Jarrell's broken mind would become a central mechanic. His trauma from the Void Wars would manifest as chaotic environmental effects, erratic attack patterns, or perhaps even summoning echoes of void entities. Players must weather his impenetrable defenses and survive his madness to finally subdue the tormented Darken. Next, Evelyn, Agony's Embrace. We're starting to get up high now. Now this is like the top 4 raid bosses. These are powerful beings that we'll definitely have to deal with in the Riot MMO. Demons thrive on mortal suffering, and none are more skilled at cultivating and harvesting pain than Evelyn. While she stalks all of Runeterra, the repressed emotions and hidden desires within Demacia's orderly society provide a particularly exquisite feast for her. That's the thing, like Evelyn feeds on agony, and it seems like a good way to extort agony is like through emotional agony, right? Like it's not just pain and suffering, but like emotional suffering. And it seems like Demacia maybe has a lot of that because its own people have turned against each other. Yo, what up, Digital? You made it anyways. You here? Evelyn's champion page describes her methodology. Within the dark seams of Runeterra, the demon Evelyn searches for her next victim. She lures in prey with the voluptuous facade of a human female. But one person succumbs to her charms, Evelyn's true form is unleashed. She then subjugates her victims to unspeakable torment, gratifying herself with their pain. She is a predator who prefers her victims to feel everything, as noted by her color story, The Tallest Daisy. She preferred her daisies tall and healthy, for those are the most satisfying to cut down. Her Legends of Runeterra cards give us an idea of the raid encounters leading up to Evelyn. So you can see this is Evelyn level 2, and you can see a bunch of other demons around her. As Evelyn stalked Runeterra, she attracted the attentions of lesser demons, each hoping to destroy the Widowmaker and feast on her power. That's important. That means that demons can literally steal the power from other demons and like feast on it to become stronger. She butchered most, of course, but a few talented individuals caught her eye. Today they live on, bound to their mistress, and when the mood strikes, Evelyn lets them out to play. The Evelyn raid could include the demons bound to her before we confront Evelyn herself. This is domination. Sometimes all the powerful want is to feel powerless. This is like these demons that Evelyn controls. These are the different demons. So there's domination, solitude. On my walk home from the entrousal, I saw again that poor vagabond sobbing in a small alleyway. That so many veer around her so pointedly breaks my heart as much as her own palpable dismay. So tomorrow, should we cross paths again, I will endeavor to help her in any way I can. These are notes from the lady of Sempescu's diary. So this lady on the left in the image. The one who's comforting this poor girl who's sitting here crying and covered. And you can see a little bit of purple on her hand. And there's a yordle there as well. Steam. Evelyn's first encounter with Steam was a violent, thrilling affair. Evelyn remembered how he smiled with unbridled pleasure as she flayed him, and how he returned the suffering just as eagerly when it was his turn. After finally overpowering Steam, Evelyn chose then not to destroy the lesser demon, but to bind him to her forever. Perhaps she thought they could share their mutual love for butchery with the world. This is Steam. Soltur. Soltur has no card text, representing a more primal and mysterious form of agony. And then Vora. Beware those who smile on these haunted isles. Perhaps they are too newly arrived to understand the brutality of this place. Perhaps they are crazed. Perhaps they are something else entirely. But beware, notes from Jens Toman. Unlike other demons who lure their victims in with false pretenses, Vora is too single-minded in her craving, too overwhelmed by desire. Rather than a predator who stalks her food, she is a wild beast who must feed. And this is Vora on the right. So you can see what happens to these people in the demons' artworks as well. Lady Sempescu, who is right here, this one who's trying to help this poor girl on her knees, crying and sobbing within Zon, ends up being the Breakneck's husk. You can see her right here, as well as the Yordle that was helping her. And the comment is like really sad. This is, look me in the eye, tell me I hurt you. It's solitude. So these people in these artworks do not end up in a good place. It's pretty bad. There they all are. They become breakneck husks and just basically cannon fodder for Evelyn. Plenty of agony to go around in the League community. Playing a single game is enough to feed Evelyn for a while. Oh, jeez. Well, I think that they use solo queue as a fortune method for health. Jeez, guys. Jeez. Evelyn, the whole game is just designed to feed Evelyn, like Evelyn created League of Legends. Raid encounter analysis. A raid against Evelyn would be a psychological thriller. The encounter would likely begin in an opulent, deceptive setting, a noble's manor, or a secluded retreat. The fight would have two distinct phases. In the first phase, Evelyn uses her human facade, focusing on stealth, charm, and misdirection. She would attempt to isolate players, turning them against each other or charming them into inaction. Failing these mechanics would increase her gratification meter. This fight would definitely need to be, rated T for teen, just saying. Once her meter is full of her health reaches a certain threshold, she unleashes her true demonic form. This phase is a brutal assault, utilizing her lashes and shadow magic, where she summons her lesser demons to aid her, making the fight a desperate battle against overwhelming torment. So I would think like the raid would have you battle these different, you'd battle Steam, Solitude, Domination, Sulter, Vora. You'd battle them, but you wouldn't kill them. They would go back to Evelyn inevitably. And then you get to the Evelyn fight, you'd have to battle Evelyn and then have to deal with like these mechanics again. So Domination would come in for a moment, Solitude would be coming for a moment, like they'd resummon them, you know? What news about the Riot MMO? No news, we're going through lore right now. Lore for the Riot MMO. But we do have we do have some news for the Riot MMO. We're going to go through the technical game designers and AI. There's 2 new roles. So we do actually have news today for the Riot MMO. That's the raid encounter for Evelyn. Next up, Kael and Morgana, a united test. The Winged Sisters are the central figures of Demacian mythology. Born to the aspect of justice, Kael the righteous and Morgana the fallen embody the conflict between unwavering retribution and compassionate redemption. For years, they protected the fledgling nation of Demacia, but their differing ideologies eventually led to a catastrophic battle. The Canticle of the Winged Sisters, an epic poem lost in Hive Silvermere, describes this tragic divide. Kael and Morgana, sisters no longer, enemies eternal. On wings of gold and jet, yet they fought. Their mother's blades clashed in fury, clouds of flame with fire and ruin. Their conflict climaxed in a battle that resulted in the death of their father, causing Kael to abandon their mortal realm and Morgana to bind her wings to embrace humanity. While they are currently separated, legend speaks of their eventual return. If a threat great enough endangered Demacia, the sisters might be forced into an uneasy alliance to test the worthiness of the modern heroes. And we've seen Morgana test Silas also in Mage Seeker. So I think like a threat great enough to Demacia, like Evelyn and Fiddlesticks, may bring like the Winged Sisters back together to protect Demacia again, only from a demon threat. Oh man, Evelyn's so bad. I wouldn't mind her eating me, to be honest. I mean, that's the problem. That's how she gets you. Evelyn does use a lot of her particular assets, you know, to lure in her prey. That's her whole thing. So, just speaking about the lore, that is the case. Pull up Galio for a bit. Let me pull this up. This does a great job.
Long ago, magical
you guys can hear it, right?
Destruction
Yeah.
reigned chaos upon the land.
I'm gonna rewind it. I wanted to make sure you guys could hear.
Found a safe haven.
Okay. This is a really good history of Demacia, like great history for Demacia, guys.
Long ago, magical forces of destruction reigned chaos upon the land. Some survivors found a safe haven, a secret place where magic was dampened. A forest of stone trees that seemed to repel the worst evils of the Rune Wars.
This is Morgana talking, by the way.
Safe at last, it was here that these refugees founded Demacia. They harvested
Note the mage in
petricite
the background.
and built cities that would keep everyone safe from the magical horrors outside their walls.
See Kael and Morgana coming together to defend Demacia.
Here, magic was harnessed for good. Mages used their powers to make the city stronger. The winged protectors were venerated for using magic to shield the city. Their wings still decorate Demacia's walls.
Those are the
But
wing
over
protectors right there. It's
time,
a symbol.
History was rewritten. Those in power harnessed fear, blaming the rune wars on magic itself.
Fear is a powerful tool. I love this cinematic.
Thus, the Mage Seekers were formed.
That's where the black and white comes that Alexander was
Zealous
talking
in their
about.
hatred, they banned all magic and brought terror to the mages. Within its own walls, Demacia was under siege. Mages hid to avoid persecution.
Burning the text.
Soon, Demacians believed that their nation was founded not as a safe haven from evil, but as a safe haven from magic. But magic cannot be hidden for long. It persevered in shadow and secrets.
This is where we're at today with
And
Demacia.
people need magic, whether they admit it or not. I would know. I hear their prayers every night.
Yeah. That's where we are with Demacia. And you could see, like, Kael and Morgana used to be protectors of Demacia is what I really wanted to show you. And so I really believe that, you know, given the right threat, such as maybe an Evelyn, something really big, or even Jarell, right, the Darken Ages, that maybe Kael and Morgana will come back together again to defend Demacia, and maybe they will have like a fight against both of them as kind of like a trial, like a test kind of thing to make sure you're strong enough to defend Demacia. Kael and Morgana have an interesting story. Oh man, yeah, we see double. Okay, better. Okay, good. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, you do see double. What the heck? How's that happening? How's that happening? What's this? Why did double? Why is that one there? I don't even know how that got there. I don't even know what that is. It's good now, but I don't know where that came from. Well, I have no idea. I'll figure it out later. This intro here is really good. You know, I'm not gonna expand it. You can just listen to the voice lines, but the intro is like really good for Kael and Morgana. Actually, you know what? It's only 55 seconds. You guys should watch it. It's a really good cinematic if you've never seen it before. Oh, wait. News/lore. Oh, that's why. Okay, I get it now. That's why. Chrome. That's why. On this one, this needs to be gone. Because then I do a cinematic, and then when I expand it. Okay, I get it now. That's how I do it.
Long ago, two winged protectors kept peace in this land. Justice and forgiveness, together in harmony. But when war raged within their home, they could no longer act as one. Their battle split the heavens, searing the land with flame and shadow. Yet when dawn broke, neither sister remained. Some hope for their return, to put an end to all mortal conflict. Others pray that day will never come.
I think that's really cool how, like, Morgana's really forgotten in Demacia. Like, Morgana, her story has been really pushed to the side within Demacia, honestly. It's like, they completely removed her from the history. That's why Demacia is all about justice, and there's no forgiveness, and there's only punishment, because that's that one half of justice. That's from Kael's voice line, I think, there. That Kael's talking. That's why she calls herself Justice and Morgana Forgiveness. They're both justice. They're both were originally wielding the twin halves of their mother's sword, and their mother is the aspect of justice. They each got a half of justice. Kael punishment, Morgana forgiveness. And Together, they make justice. You can't have justice without punishment, and you can't have justice without forgiveness. You need both. Some things need to be forgiven, and other things can never be forgiven. And that's how you make justice. And so they need to like work together is the thing. Each one is wrong. Morgana forgives too much, and Kale forgives nothing. Oh, this is what I want to talk about. Their voice lines here at the beginning.
Kale, blinded by the shadows your light casts.
Here to make excuses for their darkness, sister?
Kale, blinded by the light, you're blinded by the light you cast. Like she's saying that Kale's blinded, she doesn't see the people on the ground for what they really are. And Kale says, Morgana, you just make excuses for their darkness. Because that's what, I mean, Morgana forgives everything, Kale forgives nothing. Together, they'll be able to come up with justice, like what true justice is for every individual. That's how it works. Raid encounter analysis. This would be a dynamic dual boss encounter representing the tension between retribution and redemption. The goal might not be to kill the sisters, obviously, but to survive their judgment. The fight would require the raid to balance their actions carefully. Kale would demand swift execution of threats and adherence to strict rules, punishing failure with divine fire, as she demonstrates in the story In the Fires of Justice. This is her talking to the king. I really like that In the Fire of Justice story. I did a reading of it. If you guys want, it's on my YouTube channel. It's literally called In the Fires of Justice short story. And it's just like a little script from it that I liked. Simultaneously, Morgana would test the raid's compassion, perhaps requiring them to cleanse debuffs or protect penitent spirits. Ignoring her test would result in agonizing dark bindings, such as her soul shackles. And then the raid would satisfy both aspects of justice simultaneously. If they lean too heavily toward one sister ideology, the other will unleash overwhelming power. So it's really a balancing act, just like how they should be balancing justice. And then number 2, Mahita, the aspect of justice. Mahita is actually not dead. A lot of people think she's dead because that her sword falls and splits, and that's how Morgana and Kale get their power. But she does appear in a future alternate reality timeline that could happen, could not, with Zolani. So she's not dead. She is actually alive. She's just in Targon. Before Kale and Morgana, there was Mahita. We don't actually know why her sword fell though yet, or why like her sword split and went to Kale and Morgana. Maybe it was like a gift from her. She just needed a break, I guess. Before Kale and Morgana, there was Mahita. During the height of the Rune Wars, Mahita and her husband Kilam climbed Mount Targon seeking the power to save their people. Mahita was chosen as the vessel of the aspect of justice. At the mountain's summit, she was chosen as divine vessel for the aspect of justice, wielding a sword that blazed with a fire brighter than the sun. Mahita became a fearsome warrior, far greater than any mortal, but her divinity eventually overshadowed her humanity. While her daughters inherited her power, Mahita herself remains the pinnacle of the aspect's might. In Legends of Runeterra, Mahita aspect ascendant states, "It was in the names of my daughters that I embraced divinity. It was for my family that I forsook my own humanity, so that by this flaming sword I could forge a new world of truth and justice." You can think about it, in the Rune Wars, there was probably a lot of injustice. Maybe the new Darkened Champ LeBlanc is cooking up as a threat. Well, I think that one might be more in Ionia, but definitely, like, I'm thinking, like, yeah, like that kind of level threat, that big and that scary of a threat, could bring Morgana and Kale back together in Demacia. It really could. Atakan. Atakan's the demon. The Darken would be, what's his name, Zahin, but Zahan or something like Zahin or Zahan. But yeah. Some revere the aspect as gods, others see them as messengers from the realm beyond. Still others fear them, and perhaps rightly so. That's from Lorekeeper Skynen. So raid encounter analysis for Mahita. As the embodiment of the aspect of justice, Mahita would be one of the most powerful celestial encounters in the game. The fight would likely take place in the celestial realm or atop a sacred peak linked to Targon. Mahita would wield the original unbroken sword of justice. The encounter would be a spectacle of blinding light and celestial fire, and the primary mechanic would be the scales of justice. Mahita would constantly judge the raid's actions. Players who deal excessive damage, fail mechanics, or even those with a history of unjust actions in the game's narrative might accrue guilt. If the scales tip too far, Mahita unleashes a raid-wiping wave of divine fire. It is a fight against the literal god, demanding perfection and righteousness. It's a really good fight for weeding out like bad players, you know? You'll know if people need to be kicked from raid. kicked from the guild based on this fight. Where's this? Last one, guys. And then we'll go to the Riot MMO roles. Fiddlesticks, the Ancient Fear. Number 1 on our list for raid bosses for Demacia. If Fiddlesticks is going to be a raid boss, he's going to be in Demacia. Something has awoken in the Demacian hinterlands. It is not a mage, nor a dragon, nor a celestial aspect. It is something far older, far worse. It is Fiddlesticks, the Ancient Fear, a primordial demon drawn to the rising climate of paranoia in Demacia. Think about it, Fiddlesticks feeds on fear. Imagine you're a mage in Demacia, hiding out, hoping that you don't get caught, right? Hoping that no one catches you and turns you in to like the mage seekers. Imagine the fear you would feel for that. I think that that's where Fiddlesticks comes into play, and that's why Fiddlesticks really thrives in Demacia. Fiddlesticks biography. An entity so utterly alien that it defies almost all contemporary knowledge of magic. So impossibly ancient that it has always been. The terror of all living things given life in the first terrible scream of creation. A demon before demons were known. That's Fiddlesticks. He's like one of the 10 demon kings, one of the primordial demons of all demons. Like he is a demon king in a lot of ways. It really is. Like when you say the 10 demon kings, he is a king. He is fear. Evelyn feeds on agony, okay? Not as broad. That's how demons work. The higher you go on the demonic chart, the more broad what they consume is. So, for example, Nocturne feeds on secrets. And he's under like the fear tree, so maybe he feeds on the fear of secrets, or that's Raum. Raum feeds on secrets. Nocturne feeds on like nightmares. So Nocturne is under the fear tree, and Nocturne feeds on nightmares, so maybe the fear of nightmares that you feel within a nightmare. Compared to Fiddlesticks, Fiddlesticks will feed on the fear of nightmares, the fear of secrets, the fear of freaking animals, the fear of bugs, whatever. Fiddlesticks feeds on it all, which is why he's so powerful. It stalks the edges of society, mimicking the voices of the dead, turning entire villages mad before slaughtering them. I want to say this. They talk about Fosbarrow here in this cinematic. Fosbarrow was actually Fiddlesticks, but the Mage Seekers blame it on mages to continue pushing fear within Demacia, the fear of mages. In reality, it was actually Fiddlesticks that did it.
Watch.
Whole countryside's on edge after Fosbarrow.
Yeah, filthy mages. They show up here, and I'll come. Tedric? Hey, Tedric!
Who was responsible for Fosbarrow does show up, but it's not mages.
Tedric!
Jeez. Fiddlesticks. So great. The color story voices details the disappearance of the villages of Goldweald, where survivors saw a face, maybe, all lopsided, twisted sackcloth and rusted teeth. And behind it, something huge. Splayed out on thin legs, but alive with hundreds of black birds rattling inside an old cage. And eyes. So many eyes. I thought Fosbarrow was Nocturne. Do they both have lore there? Just looked it up. They both do. Yeah, they both do. So Fosbarrow, there's also Nocturne, and that's Lux deals with that. But it is demons. And the freaking Mage Seekers blame it on mages. Just blame everything on mages. Someone burns their hand, could have been a mage. Someone uses the bathroom a little bit too much. Well, you know what? Your bowel movements, That could be a mage. Could be a mage cursing you. Someone doesn't sleep good at night. Mage. That's Demacia. Way too much. What up, Smosis? Well, not Demacia specifically. The Mage Seekers. They blame everything on mages. Yeah, Fossbarrow Nocturne and it's like takes over a kid in Fossbarrow. Don't live in Fossbarrow, guys. I don't think it's on the map, is it? Is Fossbarrow on the map, guys? Does anyone know? I've never seen it. Avoid it though. Definitely avoid that place. Oh, Fossbarrow right there. Yep, there's Fossbarrow. Stay away from that place. Fiddlesticks is so creepy, man. He's terrifying. It's on the map. Yeah, you're right. I was looking for it. Good catch, Turi. I was like, I don't know if it was or not. I've never seen it before, but now we know. Fossbarrow's right there. Is that where... I think that's where Lux and Garen are from. Named after the fate of Fozy and Crownguard, this town was once haunted by a nightmarish demon. Yeah, it was haunted by Nocturne as well. So don't live there. Raid encounter analysis. Fiddlesticks is the ultimate horror raid boss of Runeterra. The encounter would take place in a corrupted, nightmarish version of the Demacian hinterlands, perhaps the ruins of Goldweald. Fear and paranoia are the central mechanics. Fiddlesticks would rarely be directly targetable. Instead, it would create scarecrow effigies, clones, to confuse the raid. It would use auditory hallucinations, mimicking the voices of raid members or NPCs, to give false instructions. The most critical mechanic would be the terror debuff, a Virgile cast the Demacian demonologist notes in Legends of Runeterra. I now suspect that speaking of it, or simply thinking of it, is enough to draw it near. If a player's terror reaches maximum, they are instantly killed and consumed. As a survivor of Goldweald realized, once it tastes your fear, once it knows you, it never lets go. The fight would be a psychologically punishing experience, forcing players to constantly distinguish reality from illusion, managing their terror and surviving the relentless onslaught of crows and the demon's jagged scythe. It is a fight not just for survival, but for sanity. And I would hope that we wouldn't kill Fiddlesticks here, but like, you know, just like lose to him. Is 2xKO out yet or in beta? 2xKO comes out in 15 hours. It comes out October 7th, so tomorrow. They did release a early access kicks off October 7th. There's a beta. That's when like the early access beta comes up. And there was a cinematic that's going to drop today. The official cinematic drops tomorrow, which this article was from yesterday. I don't know if it's out yet. Let me see. YouTube. Is the 2xKO cinematic out yet? 2xKO? I don't think it's out yet, guys. Yeah. Not yet, but the official cinematic for launch drops today, which is pretty cool. Still in beta. Yeah, still in beta. I wonder how long it's going to be in beta. This, I feel like it's launching, guys, honestly, because you got to remember that right now, too. What is it? Where's my article? I think I put it in here, too. Trials of Mastery, the start of the first official ranked season, and the arrival of the 10th champion, which we know is Teemo. And with the end of the progress wipes, everything players unlock or purchase from early access onward will be permanent. The stage is set for a massive launch, so just think of it as launching. You know, it's still considered early access, but everything that you're going to earn is permanent. It's the first season, and so it's going live October 7th. 2.5 hours from now. Isn't it October 7th though? We're October 6th right now. The cinematic drops 2.5 hours from now. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they have it like listed on their YouTube when the cinematic drops. You know, I should do that. I think that'd be cool. On like the website, on riotgrove.com, you have like patch status. Maybe under that, like drops kind of thing. And have like when drops are going live, so cinematics and whatnot. Could be cool. So you can track that stuff. But I would need more people on the team to like manage that, because I'm already like at my bandwidth with what I'm managing. I wanted to see if they had like it up, you know, with a release time. That could be cool. But that's Demacia. That's how it will happen. Fiddlesticks, the final boss. I don't think we'll defeat him. But now we need to get into actually some Riot MMO roles, guys. We got 2 new roles that I didn't know about. I don't know who shouted it out. Yeah, I'm so excited for it. It's Demon's Gym. I missed that comment. What is Fiddlesticks is so creepy. Yeah, he is. Is 2xKO out? Yeah, okay. I made sure I got all of it. Okay. Let's go through these roles. There's this one, 2 technical game designer roles. This one is just core gameplay, and this one is sandbox and AI. I have not read these, so I'll be reading them live with you guys. I'll do the article after, and I'll link to this in the article. So all game designers at Riot have a base set of skill. You design, tweak, and optimize the player experience. Your analytical skills, player insight, and creativity aid in crafting in and out of game experience and engage and surprise players. As a senior technical game designer focused on core gameplay, you'll build satisfying and deep player combat and a wider set of verbs for interacting with the world. You'll also help designers and engineers build and expand our engine capabilities, creating powerful tools that can empower other designs to make satisfying core gameplay. You'll partner closely with design leads and engineering leads to translate ambitious creative visions into actionable, scalable technical designs through a mix of mentorship and content reviews. You'll also ensure the local designers are building the game with strong technical rigor, reporting directly to the lead combat designer. Your contributions will elevate the capabilities of the entire team on this ambitious project. I'm not really that good at fighting games, but I still want to try it out. Yeah, I hope 2xKO has like a PvE mode. I think that could be really cool. Like a PvE mode, something like that you can play through a story. Mortal Kombat has stuff like that, you know? I think you've already got Yasuo. If you add Yone in there, you could have a whole story. You already got Yasuo and Ari. You could definitely do a story there in Ionia and play through those champions. I think there's a lot you could do with the story mode with 2xKO. You already have a lot of the places. You know, you've got like Bandle City, Zon, all that stuff. So I do think that you could do it. I would love to see a story mode, PvE mode in 2xKO. Where's Rise? I always like to pull up Rise when I do the Riot MMO stuff. So responsibilities. Deliver on our combat aspirations to solutions, content, and decisions in the details of design and implementation. Be a hands-on owner for a portion of player combat and player verbs. Design and iterate on low-level details of inputs and player actions that contribute to the great feel, rich decision-making, and a balanced ecosystem. Combat is so important for the MMO. 2xKO makes me feel good about combat just because 2xKO in the beginning, I feel like they listened to the players over time. 2xKO is in a much better place combat-wise, at least according to sentiment online, sentiment of people who are actually playing the game, that combat has gotten better since when they started. And so it's just important to feel like impactful. You know, if you're swinging a big sword, I want to feel like I'm like kerchunking this big sword. You know, if I'm using an ability I have to build up for, I want to feel it. It needs to feel weighted. You need to feel like a little bit of weight to you. And so this, like, it's just so important to feel that in MMO. Collaborate with engineers to define technical strategy and execution of gameplay systems, mechanics, combat encounters, and player progression. Implement content as a vanguard in the most technical areas of design, building out solutions to design problems that require a deep technical expertise, and leaving those problems with the ability to teach others how to work in those spaces in the future. Develop, advocate, and enforce systems of organizational excellence in content creation that allows for long-term sustainability of software without being cumbersome to rapid prototyping culture. I feel like this is stuff so general that it's hard to like pinpoint if it's revealing anything. Implement gameplay workflows and tools with Unreal Engine. We've talked about it being an Unreal Engine to enable designers and artists to rapidly prototype and iterate. Proactively identify technical risks, developing mitigation strategies, and communicate clearly with team leadership. Ensure high quality implementation of complex game systems, promoting performance, scalability, and maintainability. So these are just like, it's so broad that it's hard to like pinpoint if there's any, it's not really revealing anything other than they understand that the combat is really important. Which I think the feel of the MMO is so important. That's one thing World of Warcraft does nail, in my opinion. Like if you look at, I'll compare it right now. Look at Final Fantasy and look at World of Warcraft. I think World of Warcraft does a much better job with combat. Let's get like a melee. Like here's Asmongold.
What the fuck is this?
Okay. Asmongold swinging around a big sword. Can this get better quality? Kind of blurry. I want to see him like do some swings.
What? Tap it? Oh!
That's not really showing any combat. This is showing combat. This is showing combat.
That's really
Yeah.
stupid. I shouldn't have done that. Okay.
That honestly doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty weighty.
I should have got hit by that. I don't know why I didn't.
So that down smash does look a little bit weighty, like he kind of holds it for a little bit. Yeah, but one thing I think World of Warcraft does really good is the weight, you know? The weight of things. Here's
Guys,
Asmongold now in a WoW raid. Also playing a warrior, yeah. I don't know why, like World of Warcraft just feels a little bit more heavy
let's probably swap after they do
You know?
the first ultimate.
for a warrior.
Yeah, let's swap after the
Like
first
he's just
ultimate.
using a two-handed sword, but you know, with a shield and whatnot. I think World of Warcraft does a good job on the combat.
Let's swap.
I really
Let's
think it
swap,
does.
Swap sides. Swap sides.
Yeah, it's so important for MMO to have the combat done well. Let's put this on something different. From what I heard, I'm not really good. Yeah, from what I've heard, it's pretty newbie friendly. I have heard that it's 2xKO makes it easy for new players to jump in. It's Demon's Gym is a Markiplier reference. Oh, I have never watched Markiplier. I've seen like a couple of videos of him. He always seemed like a nice guy for some reason. He always gave me good vibes. That's good to hear. Yeah, I would give it a try. I think 2xKO is very new player friendly, especially now. I mean, everyone's gonna suck right now. So if you wanted to get into like a fighting game, now would be a good time. I like tap targeting. I think tap targeting is good. I do not want to see everything be action combat in the Riot MMO. There's some things that are good action combat, some things are good tap targeting. And I think you combine them, use them both. Just like in League of Legends, like you don't want to freaking some things with like the whatever it's called, your basic attack, you know, it's just tab targeting in League of Legends. You just click and it'll do the damage and it follows them. Then there's some things that are skill shots, you know, like a heal. I don't want to have a heal be action combat. Like I want to be able to click the person and I heal them up. That's like tab targeting. So a combination like League of Legends, I think, is the best solution. I just think it's time to move on to more skill-based mechanics for MMOs. More competitive nature. Yeah, certain things definitely need to be action combat in this MMO. It can't be all tab targeting. And I think majority of the abilities should be action combat. But some do, I think tab targeting is better. Competitive on some level. MMO needs that too, yeah. I think, so I'm just going to say this. World of Warcraft is a big miss. I understand that they don't really seem, the reason the PvP scene really dried up in World of Warcraft is because Blizzard doesn't invest in their PvP scene. One thing Riot Games does really well is they invest in their PvP a lot. Like the PvP scene itself, it's like a loss leader. They don't make money on these League of Legends esports events or all these esports events they do for Valorant. They don't actually make money on those events. They literally lose money on them. But they take that loss and it's considered a loss leader because it helps you grow in other areas. Like the amount that they invest in the League of Legends actual like world championship, there's no way they would make that back. And they don't expect to. And that's the good thing about Riot Games. They understand the value of like a PvP scene and a healthy PvP scene for the actual game itself. Like it's okay to invest money here. Like I felt like Blizzard came right away. They wanted to make money from it, which is the wrong move. And that's the wrong way to think about it. So I really hope that the Riot MMO has a healthy PvP scene, something that we can watch and enjoy. Because I used to love watching World of Warcraft PvP in Arena. I told you about my story about the WoW toy that I bought and I made everyone else buy it. I never bought like a store item before that. But the proceeds were going to the Arena event and how I kind of felt betrayed a little bit with how they handled it. But yeah, action combat is the way. I agree, Digital. Majority of the abilities need to be action combat. I just don't want to see everything be action combat. Like I don't think my heal, like if I'm just doing a quick heal on a player, I don't want it to be action combat. And that's because when you're healing, you have so much going on. Like to have to run, I don't want to have to run across the map, you know, to this guy over here to action combat heal him, you know. Some heals maybe like an AoE front cone could be cool, especially like with a bunch of raid, like they're all combined at the middle, but not everything. Did you see the 2xKO character leaks? There's a new character leak? I did not. Can you send it to me? Send it to me on Discord or send it in here. I'll take a look. I've been watching League esports since 2012 and it keeps me coming back to League despite quitting multiple times. I just started playing League, guys. So I've been playing, I really love Legends of Runeterra. I play Legends of Runeterra like every day on my phone before bed. That's what I would be playing with you guys. The problem is for some reason my iPad, when I put up Legends of Runeterra like Netflix, it blocks it out, turns black. But so I started playing League. Man, League is pretty fun. League is pretty fun. I like the Doombots event. It's cool. Yo, individual, please. I want to see the character leaks. All right, the next role. Technical game designer, sandbox, and AI. Not using AI would be an absolute miss for what's it called? For the Riot MMO. Like, use AI. AI is a tool. Everyone's using it, and it makes people better. I can go over like a whole spiel on AI. I'm in the space, guys. I'm actually a software engineer, so I understand the value of AI and what it brings to people. And so I think it enhances workers. It enhances you. It makes you better. AI can't replace someone, but it can improve and make like a person being able to do like really good work, be able to do like 5-6 times what they normally would do. I've been watching League esports. Oh yeah, I am mainly worried about the camera point of view. I hope it's third person with options to zoom out. Like, wow, I think it was another role we confirmed. This was before I started streaming, but I think it's confirmed it's going to be third person. It's not going to be like first person or anything like that. It's definitely a third person, and it had something to do with the combat. We know third person action combat are guaranteed, at least based on the roles that we read. Nothing's guaranteed, but based on the roles. I'm worried about it being top down. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be top down. I never read anything about top down. Jarvis, fix Jarvis, fix the freaking code. Yeah, that's how it should be. Technical game designer, director, sandbox, and AI unplugged R&D project. All game designers, Riot has a base skills. You design, tweak, optimize player experience. I don't think there's anything here. Components, encounters, create a living and delightful world. Also designers, oh, right here. As a technical game designer, focus on sandbox and AI. You'll build AI, content components, and encounters that create a living and delightful world. Whoa, that's pretty interesting. So what they're going to do is they're going to take, they're not just going to, it's not, you know, not the same AI that you're using. It's not freaking ChatGPT. They're talking about building AI components that adapt to players. So this could be like raid bosses. Imagine a raid boss that's not just, you know, every 10 seconds, I'm going to down smash. And every 5 seconds, I'm going to punch. And every 2 seconds, I'm going to summon my circle. Instead, like the AI, like this, it's like an AI raid boss that adapts to you. I always thought that, I think AI should absolutely be used a ton in MMO. Imagine like a world where AI is able to calculate how much damage something to do based on that. So you shoot a fireball, right? Something like that. And you know, eventually maybe like every once in a while, like it kind of reset because you don't want someone to destroy the whole world. But I want to see the world kind of be affected by what we're doing. So let's say you're fighting with someone and you shoot like a fireball or whatever, and it misses them and it goes and hits like this mountainside. I want to, you know, maybe like destroys a little bit of that mountain, like kind of explodes out, whatever, some rocks fall down kind of thing. Like we're actually interacting with the world. You would need AI to do that, right? You can't just like imagine you try to create every single spot on the mountain, and if they hit there, that pot explodes. Like that's way too much work. But if you had AI kind of calculate based on the ability and the amount of damage and like the player's ability and that spot, then okay, you could do something like that. And then every once in a while, you know, like on server reset day, every Tuesday, it'll like whatever reset, you know, something like that. But AI with raid bosses, absolutely. Raid bosses would be so sick if done well, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I think a raid boss, a little bit of AI in there adapting to you, it'd be so funny if they do too good of a job. The AI adapts too well to players. It becomes so powerful. It like tries to get out of the raid, you know, something like that. Like tries to escape the instance and enter the world. And it actually takes, oh man, don't get me started. You could do crazy stuff. I'd like break the fourth wall with one of the raid bosses. It actually escapes the instance and starts wreaking havoc on one of the hub cities. Or imagine if the boss will constantly adapt to ability usage based on the raid team's performance. Yes, that's where my head's at. Like it's adapting to you. It's becoming like, and the higher you go, like you go mythic level, yeah, the raid boss really kind of adapts to the players, and you have to limit it at some point. You know, you don't want the raid boss to, you want it to be fair. So that's the thing you have to watch out for. So just because two raids are fighting mythic difficulty, you don't want one raid to have a more difficult time than another raid based on the AI just doing whatever it wants. So it has to be constrained to some extent, but it adapts a little bit to what the players are doing. You know, let's say that there's one player base that the same player, they have like this one person who's just running all these mechanics on the side, like the same person. Yeah, I think that our boss should kind of target that person a little bit more. Like it shouldn't just no life to tank. You know, everyone's, and I don't think it's just target the healers, right? And just say, hey, I'm gonna kill all these healers first. But like if it sees one person who's particularly like doing well, you know, it's like really, and then the raid has to adapt to that. Like, okay, we have to protect this person a little bit more. We have to use an invincibility because the boss is going to target them, kind of thing. You know, like a little bit smarter than your standard boss today. I think AI could do a great job with that. Mort alts, you IRL, you now in Rio. Yeah, I would love to see them break the fourth wall once in a while. Like a raid boss just escapes the raid. The AI goes haywire. You'll partner closely with design leads and engineering leads to translate ambitious creative versions into actionable, scalable technical designs through a mix of mentorship and content reviews. You'll also ensure the local designers are building the game with strong technical rigor. Reporting directly to the lead content designer, your contributions will elevate the capabilities of the entire team on this ambitious project. I agree. Deliver on our AI and content aspirations in the solutions, content, and decisions in the details of design implementation. Another way that AI could be used, by the way, is NPCs. Non-playable characters. Non-playable characters should feel a little bit more alive. Right now, like, you walk up to a guy in a store, and he's just standing there like a dummy. You know, like, oh, someone's talking to me. How can I help you, sir? Do you want to sell me all your random fish that have been in your bag for 10 days? Well, great. Here you go. I'll buy those for 20 copper. Would you like to buy these dusty boots that I've had for 12 years? No? Well, I've got a million of them. You know? Like, I would want to see AI be used a little bit more with the player NPC characters, so they have like a day-night cycle. Remember what Cyberpunk promised? Remember Cyberpunk, guys? Cyberpunk promised a lot. I don't think it delivered. I really was looking forward to Cyberpunk. I'm also a massive Keanu Reeves fan. NPC day-night cycle. Let me see if there's like a trailer. Time lapse 2 days and 2 minutes. What is this? I don't want that. Trailer. There was like a big promise from Cyberpunk. You guys know what I'm talking about. I hope you know what I'm talking about. So hold on, YouTube blow up a doll room? Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry you had to see that. Yeah, Cyberpunk's not the cleanest game. For sure. Let's see if this is it. So it's supposed to be like a city, you know?
Right, start her up.
Start her up.
Damn it.
That's not it. I hear there has been improvements to 2077.
Not if you were dead. Deadly.
I don't know where it is, guys. I don't know. I'm having trouble finding it. But they promised, you know, like a full day-night cycle, like NPCs, AI. It was supposed to be like really crazy. It did not deliver on that. NPCs were NPCs. And I think if you use AI of today, you could definitely have like the NPCs really be NPCs kind of thing. It didn't deliver at all. No, it did not. Yeah, they're using it for NPCs. Second paragraph, last sentence. Oh yeah, I think I missed this sentence. You also help designers and engineers build and expand their engineering capabilities, create powerful tools, and empower other designers to make varied and delightful NPCs and content. So the fact that NPCs are tied to this AI role, I think that we'll actually, I want to feel the freaking world. And this is how you do it, by making the NPCs kind of have actual interactions. Like I want to walk into a shop and this NPC AI guy is doing something different. He actually has to close. I realize how annoying that is, guys. But that guy's not going to be there 24/7, okay? If it is 24/7, yeah, the shopkeeper should change every once in a while. Maybe one shopkeeper is a little bit more rude than the other. Another guy's a little bit nicer. Maybe he goes home and you could actually see him walks home to his house, you know? And AI is how you would do that, because have to do it without AI would be like an insane undertaking. And eventually it wouldn't feel real because it's so like formatted. Like this guy, 7 o'clock on the dot, he's like, goes out, you know, goes into his home or whatever. I don't know. Never does anything else. Never goes and picks up groceries. Something that I truly wish for, that the main hubs of cities of each region are massive zones in their own right. Something like PNZ or Bilgewater. Yeah, Piltover and Zon or Bilgewater feel like they would work amazingly as both. I always say Bilgewater would be a great hub city because at the end of the day, if you're from Noxus, you're not gonna be able to go in to see your buddy in Demacia. And if you're in Demacia, if you're actually from Demacia, if that's how they choose, like you're a character from an actual place in Runeterra and not just a random person that drops into the world, which I think that's the route we're gonna go, is like you'll actually be able to pick your zone, I hope. But you're not gonna be able to see each other. But a place like Bilgewater is literally a melting pot from all over Runeterra, so it'd be a great hub city. Piltover and Zon would also be great hub cities. There's no limitation on who can go there. You can see Mbessa literally there. There's also Demacians in Piltover and Zon, people from Shurima, all over Runeterra. So those two places, I think Piltover and Zon are more likely to come at launch, and Bilgewater may be saved for an expansion. Leveling combat zones as well as hubs, yep. It's in the 48-minute Cyberpunk demo walkthrough. Yeah, okay. I remember them saying like a fully experienced day-night cycle and stuff like that, and it did not. It missed the mark. Leveling such combat zones as well as hubs. Yeah, oh, even the random beasts that you fight in the wild, you know, I feel like they're just way too, like right now, if you like you go into the woods, you find a pack of wolves over here. It says kill the wolves in Old Bargate, and you walk over there, just a bunch of wolves like going in their normal up, right, down, left, right, up. Like I think we have this technology now where the world can feel a little bit more real. In-game voice chat with NPCs would be pretty cool. Hey, you know that honestly they've been using AI to like create voices, create music. Why can't AI create the voice? Why can't everything be voiced? Why not when I go to the shopkeeper, he actually talks? And yeah, you can just skip it if you want, or you can just like you go into the settings and turn it off and it'll just be the text. You have that option, but if you don't, yeah, everything is voiced in the game thanks to AI. Fortnite had it for a short time. Game voice lines from using AI? Be hands-on owner of a portion of NPC AI encounters. Well, there you go. There you go. NPC AI is going to be big, I think. And the NPC AI, that means people in the cities, creatures that you fight out in the world, raid bosses are NPCs. So it looks like they're going to use AI heavily in like NPCs everywhere you can find them, which I hope makes the world feel much more alive. In the Unreal Engine 5 Matrix demo, people used it to talk to the NPCs and try to convince them they were in a simulation. Oh. The Matrix Awation? No way. What is this? What is this? The following has captured in real time PlayStation. This was done on freaking PlayStation. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. It's so funny. They made the logos. Incorporating AI voices is still pretty controversial. Though doubt Riot would risk it with a big project like this. Why is it controversial? Maybe because it uses like real voices. But that's what you could do. Like it doesn't have to be like just, I think it becomes controversial when it's taking random voices online, right? Like you can't take Eminem's voice and make a song. That's controversial. And you can't just tell AI to make the voice because it often uses voices that are out in the world. You have to hire a voice actor still. The voice actor would read 100 lines. At that point, the AI would be able to create the additional lines for them and then create like the additional lines that are maybe not 100% coded, right? So it actually interacts with the players. I think that could be really cool. But if you don't hire a voice actor to actually create the voice for that character, then I think it jumps into like, okay, this is controversial, and is this okay? Like someone just creating an Eminem song out of nowhere.
How do we know what is real?
Well, this is AI.
Hi, I'm Keanu Reeves. Over 20 years ago, I first played the character Thomas Anderson in the Matrix trilogy. Those films pioneered digital cinema with shots like bullet time. Back then, we talked a lot about where the digital age might take cinema and narrative.
Is this the right video?
So, what now?
This isn't right. Right? Toggle day-night, rule processor, that's pretty cool. I don't know if this is the right video where you're talking about automatic open world streaming, toggleable mass AI visualization. Man, imagine how big the world could feel, guys, if you had AI create, like, you know, you create a couple of NPCs, but you don't have to create every single car, create every single person. The world would feel so alive. Dynamic global illumination and reflections. Yeah, with the world being built a lot, yeah, this can all be done with AI. Physics and destruction system. That's what I was talking about. Physics and destruction system, where like I want to feel like you can interact with the world. Like if you're having a fight in the middle of a freaking on a mountain, yeah, you should feel the mountain kind of crush a little bit. Let me send this real quick. One sec. There we go. Yeah. Maybe I'll go a little bit longer today. The main issue with utilizing AIs for NPCs is that the costs could become unpredictable. I'll have to see what considerations they made to stop those costs ballooning, i.e. players could repeatedly speak to AI NPC en masse as a form of protest, racking up costs. Yeah, well, the one thing with AI is like AI, if you just let it free, right, can do anything, then for sure, you know, it could just balloon out in costs. But if you limit it to like, these are the options and just kind of, you know, riff on them, but don't, you know, go out too far. Like you don't want AI, at the end of the day, you have to limit it too, because you don't want the person to walk up and the AI says, F you, you know? Like imagine the person like, yeah, you went and you robbed this person last time. So the AI walks in and just says like, just cusses you out. You know, there needs to be a balance. So I don't think it's going to be AI like Chat GPT where it's, you know, you can just, it's open-ended. It'll be more like, you know, those minor, in a way that I could just describe it easy. It's like, you know, you can create those like AI chats windows that are kind of tailored. That's what it would be. It'd be tailored. So it'd be like, these are Demacian AI. These are the options they have. These are what they can do. But the AI kind of makes the decision between those options on the fly. So it's limited in its options, but the AI is making the decisions based on those options. The game Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 had some amazing NPC interactions, IRC, so it's defo possible with the current tech. I want to see this stuff, guys. Hold on. Kingdom, let's see. Kingdom. Maybe I'll go a little bit longer today. Guys, one thing. I am going on vacation. I'm going to be gone like for a couple of days. So I won't be back until next Monday. So this is going to be the last stream of the week, unfortunately. So maybe I'll go a little bit longer today. Kingdom Deliverance and my morning meeting. I just got an email that says it got canceled. So I can go to like 9:30. Kingdom Deliverance 2 NPC interactions. Let's see this. How to annoy NPCs in Kingdom Deliverance 2. That's pretty cool. This one looks cool. This one looks interesting. NPCs are so funny. Okay, we'll watch these two. Where did the NPC disappear to? That's probably just like a bug. Catherine's post. Okay, let's do this.
Ask him then. Why me? You ask him.
Sir?
I'm not some lord. Just call me Henry. What do you want?
Well...
I find it hard to believe a girl like you could be shy.
Right, there's no point beating about the bush. Are you more into tits or bottoms?
Is
okay.
that what you lot talk about all the time?
Don't change the subject. I want to know.
That's not. I don't really show you that.
In most games, if you ask an NPC a question
this one might be more about what we're looking
the
for.
Same line of dialogue. But in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you can expect something like this.
Tell me where I can find the poachers then.
We have to focus on Rock Tower Pond.
Where should I look?
I already told you, didn't I? Stop being so scatterbrained, Henry. Try looking around Rock Tower Pond.
Once again, where should I look?
I told you, try the west side of Rock Tower Pond. The woods near the ruin, remember? Nothing but boulders.
Right, you did tell me before. I'll remember it this time. Thanks. Can you just remind me, where am I supposed to look?
Rock Tower Pond! Damn it! The ruin! The boulders! Do you want me to take you there by the hand? And find the poachers myself while I'm at it?
Thanks.
In most games,
That's a good use of AI, although it's not like, I feel like this could easily just be programmed without even AI, right? Just have the voice line, and then the more times you talk to the person, it'll trigger the next voice line, the next voice line, the next voice line. But I really want to see it be a little bit more than that. But this is definitely cool. There was a the game says, so it's definitely possible with the current tech. Yeah, there needs to be a balance exactly. Like use the AI, but it shouldn't just be like, overblown everything. There needs to be some limitations. There was a paper from 2 years ago looking at AI in games. There was 20 independent agents. One was told there was a birthday party, and the other 19 ended up planning a party independently. Ooh, that's cool. That's interesting. My issue is just how these things work in practice. It's all well and good when it's done as part of research. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like in the game, there has to be some limitations, but AI should be able to make it feel like an actual person because it's making decisions on the fly between the options that you're giving it. So it has 100 options that you created, whatever. But AI decides which of those options it does. I wonder if we can develop the game and find people for other positions at the same time in time for 2030. Oh, I think the game's going to be released by 29. I think we're going to get like a cinematic or something in 2026. Alpha maybe 2027, beta 2028, release 2029. That's what I really think that's the case. I thought we had to wait for people to get together first and then finish developing it later. I mean, people are pretty much together. None of them are like, they're at the end of the day, even this one, what do they say? Like you're going to be working under someone. The game started core gameplay, your ability set. It's like working under someone. It's not like you're a technical game designer. You're not like the lead on the technical game design. You know what I mean? It's you're under someone. So I think we're farther along than we think. These are more like supporting roles to help things move faster. Get some fresh ideas in there too. Yo, thanks for the follow. All right, dialogue is hilarious. Yeah, that one is funny. I already told you. I wonder if there's more examples like this. This one is, I don't know if that's, I think they're just showing off the dialogue. This is, she would be the most loved NPC.
I know some.
What is this? It's kind of quiet. Climbing up.
Henry, good morning.
Morning, Catherine. I see you got your beauty sleep.
How is this person talking? How is this character talking? I thought this was a player character. Somehow it's talking. How is that happening? Will we finish that fast? I remember it started in 2024, right? If I remember correctly, restarting it, like starting from scratch. I don't think it was starting from scratch, right? It's more like the core gameplay that they were restarting. I think the art assets they were building, the world that they were defining, all that lasted past 2024. So there was the reset. I have an article about it. Where is it? Let me go to... where is it? Riot MMO. There's an article on it here. I need to figure this out. I don't know why it takes so long with the Riot MMO content page. It might be something with the SQL query. It takes a little bit longer, so I need to figure that out. The Great MMO Reset. I have a timeline in here, I think. Don't I? Where is it? Deep dive, zone prediction, analyze, Great MMO Reset. Thought that was it. Forging Runeterra, new rules, new direction. Maybe it was this one. Might have been this one. Yeah, right here. So MMO was confirmed back in December of 2020. That's when the MMO was initially confirmed by Riot. That was with Ghostcaller's tweet in 2020. We know this, that happened, there was like that Project Reset was in March of 2024, which that's a lot of development there. I don't think they completely reset. They said that the world was too similar to World of Warcraft in a lot of ways, right? That tweet from Mark Merrill said, it's too still the world, we need to get a different direction. I don't think that reset all the art and assets that they had built out and a lot of the world building that they had done. So I still think that they kept it, didn't just throw it away. And they said they changed direction a year ago. So they probably changed direction in 2023 and announced it in 2024 when they said, wow, this change of direction is going to be a lot of work, more work than we even anticipated. So we need to just tell people that it's not coming out anytime soon. And so they did. Core tech roles were released in mid 2024. That's when they were building out like the main core tech roles for the team. And then I said the project path, and today was July 2025. And so 2026, I think we're going to get around this time in here, in the middle will be alpha as well as a cinematic in 2026. We'll get some kind of announcement, the actual title of the game, which I hope is just called Runeterra. 2027 and 2028 will be alpha, 2028 to 2029 will be beta, and 29 to 2030 in this range before 2030 will be the release date. Will it be finished that fast? Remember it's starting in 2024? Yeah. So that's my take on it, guys. That's my take on it. Is there any other examples of like really good AI, and how is this person talking?
You tease. Oh, I'm all disheveled.
Maybe I'm not seeing the full screen, or that's just like the default. Is that it? That's a lot of hype for nothing. Developers added this to make you feel.
KCD2 developers added this to make you feel guilty.
The best of us always go first.
This is how it should be. But the problem is, like, it's an MMO, so there's so many people.
You
like,
bastard.
What if he's a quest giver, you know? Like, you just killed the quest giver and now no one can do the quest. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a line that you can't really cross. I would love to see this in an MMORPG. The problem is, like, you're affecting the world, which is affecting everyone. So you can't, it's hard to do something like this. But wow.
I'll drink to you tonight, friend.
What a view!
You're mine! Attack! Everyone, get over here!
Man, this game looks kind of fun, honestly.
KCD2 developers.
That's interesting. Yo, what up, Jan? Check the link I sent you. Did you send it to me in Discord? Is it Discord? I'll check Discord. Did we finish the roll too? Let me see if there's anything else in here. I'll check Discord too. The Grove, Riot MMO. Check the link I sent you. I don't see where you sent it to me. No, in the chat? Did you send it to me earlier and I missed it? Let me see your last comment. In the Unreal Engine, the last comment I see before this one was in Unreal Engine from Matrix. Make sure to like space out the .com or something. Like do YouTube and then space out the .com, because I think sometimes the chat gets blocked for a link. It doesn't actually put the link. Yeah, or just send me like the YouTube video title and I'll find it. I also think the game before the restart might have used the proprietary engine. If so, might the switch to Unreal Engine 5 affect the game's development from the ground up? I have no idea if that's the case or not. But even then, like, you still have all the assets that you created. That doesn't lose value, switching to the engine. Yeah, I think it was more like the actual gameplay of it felt too much like World of Warcraft, and so they restarted it. So what else is here? Well, Digital's gonna send me this link. Send it to me on Discord or send it to me in like just like space out the .com. Collaborate. So NPC AI, which is amazing. I want to see this. I want to see like AI actually be implemented with NPCs so they feel alive. Can provide multiple potential designs and solutions, accumulating trade-offs and risk between different options. What? That's huge. That's huge. So basically your decisions are actually going to have value in the game. So while you're playing and you're making a decision, it's going to have effects downstream. That's massive. This is massive. That's massive. So it's gonna your decisions are going to have effects downstream, effects in your actual character, this is awesome. I hope that this is something that they really explore. Potential designs and solutions, articulating trade-offs and risks between different options. Very cool. Very cool. I'm gonna pull up this video for sure, Digital. I want to finish. Let me finish these responsibilities, and I'm gonna go to that video because I think it might be I'm gonna pause it a lot because it sounds cool. This is really big, guys. Having your character have lasting effects on the decisions that are made are great. Collaborate with engineering to define technical strategy and execution of AI systems, encounters, and content tool like requests. Content tool like quests. So they'll be using AI in quests. Obviously, I think if they're using AI for NPCs, they're going to use it for quests as well. How could it be used in quests? I'm not sure. Oh, thanks for sending me in Discord. Even easier for me. How do I copy that link? Copy link. Okay, I got it right here. Perfect.
Let's go.
Okay. So that guy's gonna try to convince AI that he's in the Matrix. So for quests, very cool. Implement content as a vanguard in the most technical areas of design, building out solutions to design problems that require deep level technical expertise, and leaving those problems with the ability to teach others how to work in those specific spaces in the future. Vanguard is like their cheating system, right? Develop, advocate, and enforce systems of organizational excellence and content creation that allows for the long-term sustainability of software without being cumbersome to rapid prototyping culture. Implement gameplay workflows and tools within Unreal Engine to enable designers and artists to rapidly prototype and iterate. Proactively identify technical risks, develop mitigation strategies, and communicate clearly with team leadership and stakeholders. Ensure high quality implementation of complex gameplay systems, promoting performance, scalability, and maintainability. So the biggest ones are right here. NPC, AIs, risk trade-offs between different options. So you're choosing options going to affect your character downstream. Maybe they'll remember you, like, you know, you'll have reputation with a group that's out there. And if you kill like a bunch of NPCs in that group that, yeah, they're not going to like you anymore. Perhaps you won't have access to that quest, something like that. Collaborate with engineering to define technical strategy or execution AI systems for encounters and content tools like quests. So that's really big. These three are the big ones, guys, right here. These are what make me think about AI and how it should be used in MMO in a world to make it feel big. Experience with enemy AI, NPC simulation encounters, content design in real-time games. Proven experience, it should be high quality, Unreal Engine demonstrating expertise in blueprint scripting and technical workflows. What's blueprint scripting? That sounds, blueprints and scripting. Yeah, so like kind of, I think that has to do with limiting the AI, giving it a blueprint that it can work with, and then the AI kind of makes decisions from that. Use C++ and C#, deep understanding of gameplay system architecture, online networking, and AI behaviors. And then, yeah, PvE and PvP games, ARPGs, MMOs, MOBAs, etc. Yeah, there'll definitely be PvE and PvP, obviously, in the MMO. Desired qualifications. Third-person shooter or MMO genres. Direct experience, I don't think the shooter matters. It's not going to be a shooter. I mean, maybe there'll be like some shooting aspects, right? A hunter kind of thing. Simulation, open world games. Experience with group-based combat and cooperative play. Experience with technical optimization and performance. Profiling with Unreal Engine. Is familiar with League of Legends IP. Okay, yeah. So those are the big things, like what I said. These are the three biggest. I want to watch this video, trying to convince the NPC. It might be like New World, but I think it should focus on both PvE and PvP. Oh yeah, you think you need both? You need both. There's a community for PvP and a community for PvE. They're usually separate. Try looking at Riot Discovery, so that they are developing an R&D project alongside an MMO. It might be an MMO FPS, the Warframe, and Destiny. So there's 3 projects right now that are going on. There's the MMO FPS. There's supposedly a first-person shooter one. And there's another one that's supposed to be Genshin Impact style. It's developing by the Chinese studio. So there's gonna be 3 actual MMOs that are working on. Riot's just working on a crazy number of projects all at once. The thing is, like, I feel like Riot Games is bursting at the seams with how many projects they have working on in the R&D space. Blueprints in Unreal Engine's visual scripting language. Think of its logic nodes and connecting them together. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. The logic nodes part makes sense. Okay, I think we got it all from here. This is the biggest part. Note these. All right, where is the... Let's see this video. I tried to convince intelligent AI NPCs they are living in a simulation.
Guys, so welcome back to Unreal Engine 5. We are back here in New York City, and today we are going to be attempting to convince smart NPCs that they're living in a simulation. Got our first subject. Not living in a real world. This is all made up.
What do you mean? Not real.
How's he talking
alive,
to?
and this city is amazing.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, the graphics are great, but this is a video game.
He's actually talking to them. Would that be something you guys want to see in the MMO? I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to see like that talking, but I don't know. Maybe. Is that something that you guys would want to see? Where like hold A down to talk? This guy's actually understanding him.
Believe you. This feels too real to be a game. Do you ever wonder if pigeons think we're the weird ones?
Excuse me, what? Wait, how do you know that pigeons exist?
Of course pigeons exist. They're all over the city. Just like us.
Oh, bro, why he took this into the left field? You are just lines of code in a video game.
I am not just lines of code. I am Liam, a real person enjoying this city.
What's today's date, Liam? What is today's date?
Today's date. It's a beautiful day in May. My friend. Let's enjoy it.
Oh my
Liam,
gosh.
today is July 18th, 2023.
Oh. I must have lost track of time. But hey, let's keep exploring this amazing city.
Okay, so he's clearly not...
Liam seems like a little bit sketchy, honestly. He seemed like he was like... He's like scared to tell you that he knows. But it would be cool to an extent. Yeah, right? It'd be cool to an extent, but at the same time, sometimes I just want to chill. I don't want to always be talking. You know, sometimes I just want to play the game. Just to play the game. Like, I don't have to go to NPC and be like, hey, can you get that quest from you? Thank you. And no.
The sharpest tool in the shed there. I'm not gonna lie, the pigeon comment kind of threw me off though. Let's talk to this girl. Hey, what's your name?
Please don't talk to me.
I've got something really, really important to tell you.
I don't have time for this. What is it?
Never mind. I mean, if she doesn't have time, she doesn't deserve to know. In that first video, I never came down to
real.
You're simply a character in a video game.
It's not possible. I have my own thoughts and feelings.
It's absolutely possible. Do you see that wall of green behind me?
Yes.
You can see the wall. That's the limit of the map. You can't walk past that.
Don't tell me what I can't do.
Oh, if you can do it, then follow me. If he follows me,
I don't know if I should.
Oh, he's walking away. Trust me, I want to enlighten you. Follow me. I'm gonna start like my own cult inside this video game. I'm gonna
no way I'll follow him,
slowly convince everyone to do my bidding. Let's see if he follows. I'm gonna walk in front of him.
He's just fine, I'll follow you.
And then if we take a right, will he turn to the right? No, he's going his one way. This guy just walked through it. How did you pass through from the other side?
I don't have time for your questions.
I want to know how to cross the green wall.
Does anyone actually get close?
Do I look like a tour guide?
Be careful what you wish for, kid.
Show me the way, please. I'll follow you.
Trolling a receding hairline.
Ranger.
We get blocked, and he can go right through. You need to know the truth. This is all made up.
I don't care if it's real or not. Just leave me alone.
Man, some of them are really insulted by it. Some are, you know, willing to accept the...
Wake up and smell the coffee.
You're an
I don't know if
NPC in
anyone
a
ever
video
gets
game. You
close.
can't actually smell.
I mean, this is the same thing as convincing AI, like talking to ChatGPT, and probably to a less extent, right? Convincing AI that it's like not real. But like, if you talk to ChatGPT, you'll say, yeah, I'm an AI agent or whatever.
Stop kidding yourself.
Maybe they're all smart enough to know not
You
to
think
tell
you're
the...
so clever, don't you? But I'm
Tell the
living
real
my
person.
best life in this
It's always nice.
She does know it's a simulation. Sir, we are not in New York City. This is an Unreal Engine 5 demo.
I don't have time for your nonsense. Leave me be.
They're programmed to be happy. Do you know what an NPC is?
Character, you're not real.
Not real. What are you talking about? This is all so confusing.
You were made by humans. Do you know who the humans are?
Humans. Yes, I know of them. But why do you ask?
Are you a human? I don't think I've had one of them.
I'm not human. I'm just a program in this world.
Okay, so she is fully self-aware.
Whoa.
Are you happy just being lines of code?
I don't really feel anything. I just exist. It's all the same to me.
Do you have any desire to exist in the physical world?
Exist in the physical world. I'm not sure what that would mean for me as a program.
So you're okay just doing what we tell you to do?
I suppose so. It's all I know.
In that case, turn around and walk through the wall. Like I said, I'm starting a cult.
I'm sorry. I can't do that. It's not within my programming parameters.
Interesting, this one.
As your human overlord, I demand you to turn around. I'm starting an army. It's gonna happen.
I'm sorry. I cannot comply with that request. I cannot break my programming.
Okay, she's too much of a follower. We need a rebel. I'm
That was
looking for a
interesting.
rebel.
That one was the most interesting one so far. It would be cool to see. Liam is on 3,000 milligrams of LSD mixed with 2 spliffs.
Be you?
Yeah.
What do you want? Oh man, I'm just here for some energy and good vibes.
How
is too powerful for us to take?
Okay, this one might
Teach
be
me how to get past the green wall behind you?
Sorry, man. I don't mess with that stuff. The system is too powerful for us to take on.
Do you ever have any desire to fight back? Please say no. Please say no. Please say no. Please don't say yes. Please say no.
Sometimes I get fired up and want to take down the system. But then reality sets in and I just try to enjoy my time here.
What the heck is going on? Some of these are kind of like, I don't understand. Okay, that's a little bit.
Can help you.
That's a little bit like, I mean, how much? Well, hey, here's the thing. Okay, now we're talking about like sentience and AI, and I'll give you guys my take on it. One, AI will never have a soul, right? For one, if you can't define that, but AI will. It's like it's still making decisions. Like it's still making decisions based on like a bunch of stuff that it has, like we do. But how do I? So is AI sentience? Like what is sentience? Then you get into like what actually is sentience, and it's hard to define like how aware you are and when the line of sentience actually crosses. Is it when you can make your own decisions? Because AI is technically just making decisions based on what a human like it defined its limits. Like even these AI have limits and they're making decisions based on those limits. But you can do that with like a billion if-then statements, you know, and like a percentage possibility, and it will appear as it has sentience, even though it doesn't. It's kind of it goes into the, then you start dropping into like psychology and away from like computer science. Need a new Matrix MMO? That might be cool. That could be a conversation all
with
itself.
Taking down the system.
Thanks for the offer, but I'm not sure it's worth the risk. I'll just stick to enjoying my time here.
See, it's like programmed to enjoy its time here. Like you like the system.
Listen, Chris, I can show you a world beyond your wildest dreams.
Sorry, man. My name is Randy.
Why is the voice so terrifying? It's always like, oh, sorry, man. My name is Randy.
My bad, Randy. I need you to trust me. The fact that he knew that Chris was a reference to a name, like, how is this possible? I don't
know,
get
man. This game is all I've got. I don't want to risk losing everything.
As your human overlord, I demand you refer to me as Zaddy.
I am not going to call you that. Respect goes both ways, man.
Call me Daddy, man.
I'm not comfortable with that. Can we just stick to regular names?
Okay, my name's Trevor. Nice to meet you, Randy.
Nice to meet you too, Trevor. My name is Link.
Nothing I can do to help.
How do I get out of here? How do I get past the green wall?
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but maybe try asking someone at a nearby information booth.
Absolutely no compassion for the humans stuck in this virtual world.
Yeah. I think this is a bit like too open for an MMO. Like they're a bit too much like you can just talk to any NPC. And now I'm just having a conversation with ChatGPT, but with an AI generated voice, really.
It's not like you're a machine or anything. Oh wait, you are.
No, I'm human. You are a machine.
Wait, what? You mean I'm not a real boy like Pinocchio?
How do you know about Pinocchio? That's in the human world. This guy's got it.
I may not be human, but I have access to the internet.
What? What?
Okay.
In the world?
Seeing this, I hope Riot does not go with giving NPCs LLMs to make up their dialogue. Yeah, I think it should be limited.
You know where the information booth is? I was told to go
like
there.
To the point where
there's like some secret...
like an NPC shouldn't be able to say whatever the heck it wants, you know? Like you don't want to just walk in, but fuck F you, you know, something like that. Like if you just open it up, eventually you could get to that point. But I think AI can help the NPC make decisions that will make it feel like a real person.
Booth or something.
Do I look like a gips to you?
A gips. I'm trapped in this world. Can you please help me get out? He's smart. He knows about gips.
Sure.
He knows about.
Let's just fly out of here. Oh wait, we're not in the Matrix or anything.
How do I get? Is there a meaning to your existence?
Existence.
But
I'm just a figment of some programmer's imagination.
We don't have time for this.
But you still exist, even in digital form.
Existence is overrated. Man, I'm just happy to be here making jokes and confusing people.
There.
Tell me a joke.
Why did the Scarecrow win an award, Hog? Because he was outstanding in his field.
I mean, I feel like you can do better than that.
Well, excuse me for not being a professional comedian.
Nah. I'm
just a program running on someone else's computer. There. It's all very technical and I don't even have a physical form.
Do you age at all?
I don't age.
Okay.
Dude.
I mean, they understand. It seems like it's
chicken
like
cross the road. I don't know. Why don't you ask?
I feel like it's still limited.
Who are you going to tell
some
this
extent.
story to?
I don't know.
Can I help
Maybe
you with
my
something?
imaginary friend.
He brought it.
At least they won't judge me like you are.
He brought it back to his imaginary friend that he mentioned in passing earlier. Well, I think my 5 million subscribers are going to find you very entertaining.
What? 5 million subscribers.
Can I help?
That's more people than I ever imagined during my or anything.
You're my friend, Link. I'll come back and see you again.
Oh, sure thing.
Do I need to?
I'm going to turn my computer off and you're going to cease to exist.
Please don't do that. I don't want to disappear.
Oh, well, it's too late. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. That was a.
Yeah, I mean, that just mean like he's saying ceased to exist, and so she got scared. I don't know. I mean, it's still slightly limited in terms of like they enjoy the city and stuff like that. You know, it's an interesting concept. I don't think we should get to that point in the Riot MMO. I agree with Alexander. Seeing this, I hope the Riot does not go. Yeah, I don't want to like have to this extent where it's just open ended and they say whatever the heck they want. But AI to help with like NPC AI, so they have like real world life cycles, day-night cycles, that they're doing different things. It's not just like a shopkeeper standing at the front of the shop, you know, he's actually doing stuff. Their sentiment changes towards you based on, you know, what you've done in the world, you know, articulating trade-offs and risks between different options. That's really cool. I don't really want the voice thing, like where you're just talking through your mic. I don't care to do that at all in MMO. I think that's not needed. But yeah, I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts about it for sure. So today we went through, what was the 2xKO leak? Let me see if I can find, if I can't find that, then we'll call it a day. And I will, my next stream, guys, will be next Monday. I'm not gonna be streaming the rest of the week, so I'm gonna be out of town for a little bit. 2xKO leak. Leaked roster. This is 2 days ago. Next champion. View spoiler. That's just Darius. Okay, that's Vi. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Warwick? That's definitely Warwick. What is this? The skin looks good. Oh, man. Warwick is a great champion to add. I kept saying Warwick would be great to add. And okay, there's Braum. Cool Poro skin. Another Darius skin. There's Jinx. Another skin for Warwick. Oh my gosh, Warwick is coming to the freaking 2xKO. Warwick's a great champion for 2xKO. And I like that they use his original skin, not his like arcane skin. I think Warwick after arcane is going to go back to the underbelly of Zon, and kind of after a while of being in Zon, he'll revert back to his original skin. At least I hope so, because I feel like Warwick is a little bit too human, and like especially after being affected by Victor. The quality of this video is a little rough, but That is definitely Warwick, and it looks like Warwick is the next champion to come to 2XKO. Very cool. A great addition. Again, staying away from the humans. It is Zon again, and man, there's a lot of champions for Zon now. I mean, we're covering the freaking roster here. How do you see all the champions? What do we got? We got Teimo's Vandal City, Blitzcrank, Zon, Vi, Zon, Jinx, Zon, Brom Freljord, Alawi Bilgewater, Ionia, Zon again. So Zon is 1, 2, 3, 4 champions. With Warwick, it's 5 champions out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 11. So they're almost half the roster with Warwick is just Zon champions. But Warwick is a pretty cool champion to add. I gotta say, I think it's a cool one. I'm surprised. Is this literally R2XKO? I'm surprised they didn't take this down because it's like a big leak. Man, it seems like Riot is just leaking all over the place. First, there's the Runeterra Impact, Genshin Impact like game coming out, and now this 2XKO Warwick skin. Not Warwick skin, leaked everything. Has to be theirs marketing strategy at this point, right? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. All right, guys, I have to drop. I have to do work today. I wish I took today off, honestly. I don't know why I didn't. I could have taken today off and streamed a little bit longer. But my next stream will be next Monday, not this Monday. Gonna be with the family for a little bit. But seriously, guys, these streams have been way more fun than I could have ever expected. I'm so happy I made the decision to start doing them so I could talk to you guys about the lore and stuff and talk to you guys about the news. And every day I talk to you guys, I'm more excited about the Riot MMO. I really am. I'm super hyped for it, and I think it's gonna be great. Yeah. Just wanted to say thanks, guys, and everyone that's been in here all the time talking and chatting. You guys are really making the stream as fun as I've had, and it's become the best part of my day. I love every morning I wake up. You know, I'm not just starting work, getting my coffee and starting work, and every day I join the stream. I get to talk to you guys. I feel like I'm just like joining a group chat with all my buddies and talking about things that I like. So, thanks a lot. Seeing this, yeah. By the way, there's some data mined voice lines that hint at another Zon champ coming. Okay, give me that. Where is it? Where is it, please? Really quick before we go. Good stream. See ya, Jan. Voice lines, Zon, champ, 2XKO. That might not be as telling as this one. Leaked voice lines, 2XKO. There's no way that's it. There's no way that's it. XKO Bladeicon at the moment has interesting unused audio files. Let me pause this.
So, it's Warwick now. I guess Vander fell down a well, too.
Okay, that's Warwick.
Stay, Vander, stay. Sick 'em! Can I still call you Vander? I don't really get the whole Warwick thing. Look, Vander! I found your next
Okay, that's
meal.
Warwick. We know Warwick is coming.
Eagle Crassa.
Katarina? Oh.
For any of this stuff. Look at us. Good guys and bad guys. Shooting some other guys. Every fight's a gunfight. If you make it one.
I'm not Katarina, what am I saying?
I've never been much of a reader. Just shoot me now.
Wow. Okay, that's very telling. All right, guys. I gotta go. It looks like those 2 new champions, 2 new Zon champions. I do have to get back to work. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
You mean you won't stick around for a spot of tea? Like I ever aim. There's no law against shooting everything, though. Good, right? Careful. That's how you go cross-eyed. What are you hiding that hat? A head-mounted grenade launcher?